alongside it, the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia.
Monrovia,
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Africa.
Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Morocco, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon.
Okay, welcome, folks. It's good to be here, of course. Today is the 19th day of May, and this is 2024. Another fascinating edition of the program, 101, where the CEO is up. You don't want to miss this edition of the program. We are here tonight live across the internet on Spoon TV, on Facebook, Fabric TV, Super TV. We're live on YouTube as well, Spoon Talk Live. Many thanks to our folks across Liberia that are catching us on several radio frequencies. We are live on Fabric 101.1 FM, Super 95.5 FM, and Spoon 107.5 FM. Many thanks to all of you tonight for joining us. And my name is Nelson Collier. Kindly share the program as you come on. As we get set tonight, I see the CEO is getting ready, and his co-host, Mr. Ketamba, Abdullah Ketamba, is getting set as well. And yes, the long-awaited show, the much talk about since the last edition of the program. There has been so many conversations around how firing it was, and you can just expect another great show tonight. And so, yes, we want to say welcome to all of you joining us here tonight. And I see the co-host himself, Mr. Abdullah Katamba. You know, he's already set. He's in studio. He's coming on shortly. And yes, it's going to be a great show. You saw the flyers. I saw a lot of you have been sharing your thoughts on the flyers since we shared it on our Spoon page. So many of you have been talking about your expectations for tonight's show. You can only expect a fascinating conversation tonight, a firing one, you know. And so just keep sharing the program. If you're on Facebook, share to all of the groups and all of the platforms. And as you know, we are across Facebook on 3 social media handles. It's the Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. We're on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. So I've always said this: if you're following us on Spoon TV and you're not following Fabric TV and Super TV, go follow Fabric TV and follow Super TV. Now, if you're following us on Fabric TV but you're not following Spoon TV, just go ahead, follow Spoon TV, follow all of the social media handles. If you're on YouTube, and maybe you've not subscribed to our channel on YouTube, just go there. Search for Spoon Talk Live. Spoon Talk Live is the YouTube handle. And once you log on, you're going to see all of the previous editions of our programs. And you can always log on there and get the information. You can get all of the trending news about Liberia, everything happening across the country. As you know, Spoon is dishing out Liberia's best. And that's why we're out there making sure that we give you everything, bringing you critical analysis on the issues, bringing you face to face with the newsmakers, and giving you the opportunity to be able to ask them some critical questions as well. And this platform is here tonight. We're back again. I want to say welcome to all of you joining us here tonight. The team is all set. Whoosh. The team is all set. I see Mr. Abdullah Katama in the background, the boom breaker himself is all set, and you can expect a firing show tonight. So shortly, once the team gets set, they will come on. Okay, so let's now welcome the
Bame Shanga Tango.
Barman Shanghai. You know,
Bame Shanga.
the glasses says it all.
Bame Shanga.
They say behind every dark shades.
Stay down. Bame Shanga.
I don't know how bad you are, Ketema, but how you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's rainy, heavy in Monrovia.
Is that too sunny in the studio? Is the light giving you a hard time?
The light.
Is that Wawa coffee?
These are glasses. This is
Wawa coffee?
Sasha tea with honey.
Oh, wow.
It's a Moroccan tea with honey.
Man,
So how you doing, my man? How was church today?
I'm trying. Church was fine. I'm trying.
What did pastor say?
The pastors preach about David and Goliath. Yeah. Jeremy Pierre that Goliath.
Also with the David.
We're trying to find the David.
You looking for trouble?
CDC and Unity Party, somebody that David, somebody that Goliath. But it's good to see you, Ketema. We yet again one-on-one with the CEO. We want to welcome every one of you. If you're joining us on Facebook, on YouTube, any of the social outlet, we want to say welcome to Spoon, one-on-one with the CEO. The co-host is Abdullah Ketema. Please consider my voice because I'm still under the weather. But again, Yvonne Iyo Ojuku Taji, we want to welcome every one of you. Today will be a very special one. As you all know, we've been announcing that tonight we'll be having 2-for-1. You know, Ketema Joe, we have built a 2-for-1 Invisible Park. So tonight we'll be having 2-for-1. The Honorable Jeremy Pierre, who is still here in the United States of America, currently he's in Pennsylvania, Republic of Liberia. Jeremy Pierre, Information Minister. Then we're going to have Colonel Gregory Coleman, Police Inspector General, Republic of Liberia. It's Ketema and myself will be doing our thing. We'll be saying everything plus more because this is how we like to bring the conversation to you. So once they are all ready, we'll bring them on. But Ketema, let's brush up, man. What's happening? How was your week? And what's the news? Ketema, I'm surprised. I came from church. The president of Iran, his helicopter crashed.
Yes.
It's a breaking news right now.
Ayatollah.
Yes.
Ayatollah Khomeini. Well, we see a lot of global news from Free Palestine to Iran to the Middle East to student protests and encampments in the U.S. But locally, I think business people are saying things are tight. That's what I'm hearing. Business people are saying they are hopeful for the new administration, but things are tight, and I hope that things can loosen up. Maybe we should have that windfall of economic trickle down from the policies of the rescue mission. And so tonight, we're gonna make sure we squeeze every little facts and information from these people. You should be the dispenser of the true stories of the conditions of our people. And so tonight is everything on the table. There's no sacred cow. Everything is on the table, from left to right. Land, air, and sea. There's an echo. Okay. Are we good?
Hear me, Ketema? Hello, I lose you for a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so now we're good. Thank you. So I was trying to use this, but I'm going to take this off. Ketema, you are talking about the increase in in the global market though, but this is affecting us in a very special way because we are talking about our staple food, rice. I received information yesterday that the rice price is going to be going up seriously. Rice. I'm not talking about any other thing. Rice. A month, 2 weeks ago, Amin Moda said he got a break. They gave 25-cent break to rice importers. Today we are saying that rice price probably will be going to $18.50 for a 25 kg. Can you tell me what's going on?
Well, Stanton, it is clear that we have an emerging crisis. It has to be contained now, or it will be too difficult to solve. And we hope we're not going backwards. By now, there should be something under control. This is the rescue. This is the mission. We must be rescued from the rice prices. We must be rescued from any emerging danger that will remind us that the same crisis we have under the past government, it got to be different. If it remains the same, they will have a rescue crisis. We must rescue the rescue. So this is our moment to make sure.
Ketema, I'm kind of confused. George Biden, we are left rice, a bag of 25 kg at what amount before he left? What was the price? How much was a bag of rice?
18, 14. I'm
16.
Sure.
Around 16. We cannot say 13, no, because it was around 16. I mean, when I came in and they said we'll get a 25-cent break. So therefore, the rice price was hanging around 16.50, 16.75. If it is true that they have a scheduled announcement tomorrow, now they will be announcing that rice price will be going up. People are saying to $18.50. January 22nd, February, March, April, May. In 4 months, Abdullah Ketema, rescue is not rescuing when you talk about rest. In 4 months, the rice price will be going up almost $4 or $3. I mean, I want us to just focus and think on this, Ketema. Jeremy Pierre is coming on. He will be our first guest. He's logging in. The RG will be coming on next. But Ketema, just you and I right now, is it beating your imagination that in 4 months of Joseph Yima Bwaka, the agriculture specialist, the man of 40 plus years experience, going to sell to the Liberian people the increase in rice prices?
It is beating everybody imagine. It should beat everybody imagine. It's stirring on my anxiety. It makes me worry. For 4 months, when these elections were taking place, people did an assessment of some of the challenges we will confront. They knew this problem were coming. They understood this problem. The Minister of Commerce is a businessman. He understands these issues. In the elections, they were making statements. So by now, we should find a solution. The fact that we're discussing a problem, not a solution, is creating a rescue crisis. So we do from rice crisis to a rescue crisis. We do not want a rescue crisis. We want a rescue solution.
I can see the information minister in the back, but he will give us 10 more seconds real quick because I want us to dig into this, Ketema. He's all ready, but the information minister, folks, Jeremy Pierre, he will be our first guest. And while he's on, probably we're going to bring in Gregory Coleman. Probably, who knows? We're not spending too long, and no. This is not the show for today. But Ketema, if you're saying that it is beating every Liberian imagination, if the people are going to buy the 25 kg for $18.50, how much would a man Mary sell it? A cup, 1 cup. What's the cup? 1 cup of rice. How much is a cup of rice? I'm sending the guys out tomorrow. How much would a man Mary sell a cup of rice that can feed she and her 5 children, Ketema? This is the bread and butter issue. It have come to this point, Ketema. I don't know if somebody understanding that. Are we going into the rest crisis? Yeah. Why in 4 months?
Stanton, the most important bread and butter issue in Liberia is rice. Rice. That's the first test. The first bread and butter issue. The most important bread and butter issue is rice. If you can get rice right, you can get anything right. If you cannot get rice right, you get everything wrong. Your first step is rice. How do you manage it? That's our staple food. We are importer. We are a huge consuming nation. We don't import rice. I mean, we don't export rice. So it tells me that the economy, the livelihood, the conditions is measured by the availability and the price of our staple commodity. So we are saying, if we don't see solution and this issue blow out of control, it spiral into crisis, we're going to have a rescue crisis.
Oh, you're going to have a rescue crisis, but that rescue crisis no go. On that note, I'm going to bring in the information minister. The man is coming to tell us everything. Are we getting into a rescue crisis? Are we rescuing the rescuer right now? I want us to just bring in Jeremy McPierre. All right? There's no nonsense guy that he will not take blame, but he will be straight up. And that's why we like the one-on-one with the CEO, co-host by Ketama, Abdullah Ketama. Folks, we will entertain your question. We have enough time, but this is getting to be a different game-changing moment that we are talking about rest in a little less than 4 months that the rest price is going to go up. Let's bring in the Honorable Jeremy Pierre, Information Minister. Jeremy, Honorable Pierre, Minister Pierre, whatever way you like me to call you, welcome. Welcome to One-on-One with the CEO on Spoon. How you doing, sir?
I'm okay, Stanton. And it's good to be here. I see my friend in a very dark gagoo on the roof and talking about rescue crisis, this crisis. Good to see you, Katamba.
Honorable distinguished comrade, Jeremy McPierre, the man who controls the government information machinery and architecture. What's up, comrade?
How are you, sir? Apparently, you and Stanton maybe decided to make today not just the Government of Liberia Communication Day, but Harvard Day, right? You have Gregory Como, a product of Harvard. You have Gerald Limerick. It's all good. But we here, this is what we signed up for, to communicate with our people when they need a RASIS. I have not been on this platform for a while. I was keen on making some rounds. It's good that I'm starting with Spoon. As the Minister of Information, I feed to the public information that I gather from all of the sectors. One of the reasons why my coming was slow, I was waiting for the outcome of the 100-day deliverables because we cannot speak imaginarily. We have to speak based on data, based on facts. They've published that. We can now engage the public. So it's good to be here. And two strong men, Stanton Witherspoon, the guy who knows how to, make you to shake if you don't stand strong. We always try to stand firm against his tactics of shaking and bringing people to the ground. And then you are a Katama who, it got to be interesting. But I'm here, and I know we have a very good conversation. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome, Jeremy Pierre. We got about 30 to 45 minutes to spend with you. And if needs be, we will bring in your brother, the IG of the Liberia National Police, or we'll do him separately. He's ready. But we want to say welcome to One-on-One. This is your first time on One-on-One with the CEO. This is not Spoon Talk.
Correct.
Yeah. So we want to say welcome, like we always do, very quick, in less than 30 seconds. We should be able to ask our question, and we give you a minute to answer because we'll be coming hard on you. Mr. Minister, Ketama, you want to go first? I gave you the go ahead, sir.
Mr. Minister, how are you?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Sorry.
Give us a summary of the trip to the U.S. What were some of the gains?
Wow, that's where Katama jumps right away. You see what I was telling you about Katama? Okay. So let me, I jotted down what I consider from my information lens, the summary of what happened in the US. The president was here with his team to attend the US Africa Business Summit. In our view, the summit was successful. First of all, the president was able to promise a new deal for investors in Liberia with a commitment that will create the enabling environment and basically also to address the issue of corruption. You know, when corruption is on the rise in a country, it scares investors away. And so he had to make those commitments. The US investors on their part expressed interest across all of our sectors, agriculture, including agriculture, energy, infrastructure, mining, tourism. The US Chamber of Commerce and the Corporate Council on Africa offered to engage their membership about Liberia. The next step also will be a trade and investment mission that will be sent to Liberia. And one of the things that happened, you see, to make a case about investor in a country, you have to have an anchored investor who is there, who's experiencing what is happening there to tell the story. And Achille Mbita was that anchored investor who had to make the case that yes, Liberia is a place good for investment, and they stress some of the progress that they've made. They talk about the expansion.
Sorry, Minister, is that baby crying from your end?
That's my daughter. They fixing her hair, and I don't know why she just to fix her own hair. Stanton, she's disturbing. So
yeah, man, leave her alone. She's not ready for it yet.
No, it's not me. Yeah. It's her mother who's watching the hair, and then she's confused. Yeah, sorry. She was not stop because as soon as the mother stops watching the hair, I think she will stop. All right. So Achille Mbita was there to talk about that, and they also committed that they're going to move towards the step of adding value to what they do in Liberia, not just taking the raw oil away. The U.S. government also demonstrated very strong support for the future of Liberia on JMB. Their delegation was led by Lena Thomas Greenfield. And so in that regard, the Millennium Challenge Corporation is actively considering a second compact for Liberia, which, if history is to guide us, will bring in hundreds of millions. And mind you, MCC funding is not loan, it's grant. So say if they give you 500 million, it's free 500 million. I mean, that's why it is. If they give you 600 million, that's why it is. You have no obligation to pay back. The scope of that compact, of course, will be a subject of discussion subsequently. But in addition, the U.S. Development Finance Corporation that they call the FDC, and that is the Development Finance Institution of the U.S. government, is exploring the potential of having investment opportunity in the energy and agriculture sector. It is important to note that the DFC can provide concessional funding or financing and even equity for projects in any country they go to. And it's also important to know that the DFC has yet to invest in Liberia. So it's the first of the opportunity that is now evolving based on the trip to the US and our participation in the summit. So in a summary form and based on my lens and my own personal note I was taking, this is how I could summarize the mission to the US. And in addition, of course, beyond the trip, we all know the president went up to Atlanta. And some of the key things I would take from Atlanta, traveling is difficult, Stanton. I know I traveled with the president and from the origin of our trip up to the point we reached to the US, we took around 25 to 30 hours. That's depressing. You know, it's tiring. You get down, you got work to do, and you travel that long. And part of the reason why it was that long, our transit, for example, in Brussels was more than 8 hours, which was not very normal to me because most of the times you pass through Brussels is around 4 hours. But that's why it was. So part of the reasons for going to Atlanta was to engage the folks from Delta on the possibility of ensuring that we can have flights resumed to Liberia. Of course, It's always much easier when we had Delta going there, fly from America straight to Accra, from Accra to Monrovia. A re-emergence of that would be good for the country. Also, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has interest in providing scholarship opportunities for Liberians. The area of technology is a place we don't have many people going, and technology is on the verge of ruling the world. So anything you can do to advance the technological capabilities of our citizens is a good thing. And so Georgia Tech will have an interest in not just collaborating with the state-run university and some of the public institutions, but they will be in the position to provide direct scholarship for Liberians who are interested in the tech area, which will be so good for our country. And
Thank you.
yeah, maybe in
But excuse me, Minister, I don't know why you're not coming in straight with your video, because we have a lot of, it's not, you are not sounding well, and your body, we see half of your body. It look like the system you're using eating up.
Look at the guy go well.
Eating up your body.
All right, let me see something. Maybe this the background stuff I'm using. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The background stuff I'm using. Let me come to setting and see. Yeah, hold on 1 minute.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Ketema, I'm receiving. Yeah, just go in the back and do that and come back real quick. Ketema, what the minister is saying, if I'm hearing a lot of, you asked your question. What did you got out of what the minister said for your first question?
Look, Stanton, I think we know Pierre is a great guy. He's an eloquent speaker. He's informed about the politics. But what I hear a lot of generalities. They met, they talk, but I don't see the bacon bringing the beef back home. I don't see the tangible. I hear the hopes. I hear
he's
the
back
assurance.
on. I want you to follow up with your question. He's on now. He's better.
No, come on, yeah, we can say. So this format of this show is a combination of both analysis and engagement. So we may ask questions, make a comment. So what I hear from the minister is basically like any other administration did. We went to Washington, D.C. We met this person. They assure us a millennial grant, the same language. Those are generalities. Those are beautiful sounding imaginary opportunities that cannot be held and felt. So we just clap for attending until we feel something. I don't hear anything tangible. On the compact issue, you still got to meet a requirement. On the Millennial Challenge, it is a grant, but the grant has requirement. It is not, it doesn't waste a grant on you. You go to series of requirements. You meet their benchmarks, and then you qualify. And then you qualify for the second round, which is the grant. We saw Georgia administration. They met the first level, and they failed the second level. So we want to see some tangibles. Okay, then we understand their efforts. But I've not heard one big news, big basket of beautiful surprises that are bringing home to the country.
Right. Let's go back to him.
Yeah,
we got to make our point in 30 seconds, Ketema, because we want to give the guests a minute to explain.
Ketema wants to be the second guest and not a host, but that's fine. That's fine with me. But here is what. But you got to be tolerant. That your show, but that's my view. So accept my view, just I will accept yours. So the point I'm making,
get my opinion on your view.
Yeah, so I think that's what I see it. So just accept it that way. But secondly, one of the things you got to do for yourself as a host of a show is, first of all, ask yourself, what was the summit in the U.S. about? It says U.S. Africa Business Summit. What was it meant to do? It was meant to bring a select team of government from across the country. Mind you, Africa got over 50 countries. Only 11 had the opportunity to be there. What was the chief goal? Bring U.S. investors face to face with these governments and give these governments the opportunity to sell their country, to engage these investors on why it is important to invest in their country. That was a key reason for the conference. Now, if you understood it from that perspective, then you would not expect that anybody would have left the country to announce, say, company X is coming to Liberia tomorrow, company B is coming to Liberia tomorrow, because that's not what the conference was about. The conference was to sell yourself, and as you sell yourself, the investors themselves will tell you what their impression is. And the impression I just gave, maybe you didn't listen. Maybe you didn't hear that. The U.S. Development Finance Corporation, the FDC, has never made any intervention in Liberia before.
Yeah, you read this script?
I had to take my own script. If I come to a conference and I'm not able to jot down what I think the outcomes were, then I'm just a lazy information minister. In a minister who just talk blah blah blah, you can't write, you got problems. So I do both, Katama. So yes, there's nothing wrong with reading from your script that you yourself prepared. So what I'm telling you is, if we went to a conference of that nature, we're not supposed to come back to you to say company B going to Liberia tomorrow. We got to talk.
Let me couple my
questions. You got to listen now.
That's probably what he said.
Right,
did not say
you got to listen.
No, there's an interactive engagement, Pierre. There's a lot of.
You don't interact by disrupting. You allow him to learn and you talk your own. Then I listen to you.
Pierre, relax yourself. Don't be on the defensive.
That's how you interact. No, I'm not being defensive.
Okay, don't be defensive. You're a salesman. You're going to sell us something. If we don't see the product looking good, we'll tell you. Then you sell it.
To talk. So when you're ready to talk, then you tell me.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So what I've said to you, that's not what the conference was meant to be. And you can make an example. We saw it Ellington. We had Ellington. We had compact, 267 million. Georgia, they had none. Don't compare apples and oranges. When we make commitment about this thing, in fact, what my note that I wrote said, and I will want to go back to it, that the U.S. Millennium Challenge Corporation is now taking steps towards Compact 2. You don't take steps when the trickles or benchmarks you were talking about are not considered. We're very constant with our benchmark. Look, we're running a government that takes into consideration our international obligations. The things that are supposed to benefit our country.
So Honorable Pierre, give me a chance to ask my question. You have said sufficiently the takeaway from the meeting. And I think Ketema's question generalized your position and your takeaway, which is fair. So let's dive into the merits. Let's get some juice. Minister Pierre, somebody, when you spoke about ArcelorMittal, somebody in one of these many chapters said, wow. And this is why Sam Jackson said, Jeremy Pierre says ArcelorMittal is the anchor investor in Liberia with the official. Now, you took ArcelorMittal at that they can sell Liberia, that Liberia is a good place to do business. But ArcelorMittal allowing our people to sleep in tent like animals. ArcelorMittal is not giving back that which they have promised. We, the Liberian people. ArcelorMittal has some deficit in terms of the way they treat our people that are working for them. Do you think it was right to allow them to represent the business sectors in the country, but back home they're treating our people beneath human imagination?
I think it's fair to point out the challenges that may exist with investors. But when you generally try to paint investors as people who are not helpful to the country and they are bad for the country, that's a wrong step. You got to ask yourself a lot of questions, Stanton. When President Sirleaf came to power before ArcelorMittal came, there was zero investment portfolio in our country. One of the key challenges governments do have is to provide jobs for the citizens. And one of the reasons why we have some of the challenges that government has is that idea of being able to attract investors to create jobs for your people lost in the last 6 years. So in their mind, once that is lost, the only options you have is to push everybody into government. Hence, the payrolls were bloated. We could not meet even the cost of paying the very people who were pushing onto the payroll. What did we do? we brought something called harmonization. That harmonization was a crisis yesterday, it's a crisis today. Before we solve it, it remains a crisis. So what happened as a result of that was to attract investors, and ArcelorMittal was one of the first to come. Lamco, for example, and you allow me to make this point, which is very important. There was a statement the president made about people who've invested in the country, how they left the places, they exploited the places, they left it empty. He mentioned Yegepa, for example. Everybody ran to ArcelorMittal. ArcelorMittal only came to rescue a situation, in my view. Lamco ran that place. And when Lamco left, there was nothing left. Part of the reason why you have people, I'm not justifying anything, but you got to have processes to change things. Part of the reason why ArcelorMittal inherited some of the problems they had was that when they took over, what did the company that leave the mining area before they came, what did they leave behind? It's hard to lay hands on. And that's what the president was making reference to. Today, you hear people calling how do they call it, Bommy Hills?
Bommy Hole.
Yeah, Bommy Hole. Everything that went on there, as it ended, nothing is there to show. So Mittal braved the storm and they came. And they provided hundreds of jobs.
I agree, Minister. Minister, I agree. But let's face it, Minister, and forgive us because we gotta be interactive. Let me ask my second question.
This way they ask your question.
Okay.
So I agree with you that there may be a lot of challenges with ArcelorMittal, that there may be a lot of things that may not be going straight. That's why we as a government ought to work with them to make sure that things that are unacceptable, like some of the examples he gave, that we resolve them together, but not to demonize the investors, because when they leave, the thousands of people who have jobs will not have it. It will be additional burden of the country, but we have to engage them to solve the specific issue as you listed, so that together we all make progress.
But my second question, your comment, Ketema. So allowing them to represent the country, major investor stakeholder, saying that it's okay, you can go to America and bring in other investors and say we are doing business, knowing that they are just right there. Prince Johnson have cried. Senators and lawmakers for Grand Bassa crying every day. Bon County, the same thing. They never fixed the problem during George Weah time. Do you have any hope that they will do better under this government?
All right, so the first thing I have to correct is that we didn't invite ArcelorMittal from Liberia and say can't go to America. They Invest in Liberia Summit, which was a part of the overall Africa Business Summit, was organized by some very good friends of Liberia and not the government of Liberia. In the minds of those good friends, if you want to encourage investors to go into your country, one of the best things to do is to select one of the investors that are already in the country, because they can tell the story as to why they invest in their millions in the country. And they can be that force that can motivate and mobilize other investors to see the need to come. And that's why ArcelorMittal was there. And I don't think the challenges that they are having on the ground that you listed are reasons enough to say then they were not the right people to go encourage people to come and invest in Liberia. I don't think so.
But are you saying that they came based on that, but the president wasn't aware that they were coming?
No, we're aware that they were there.
Okay, why did you invite HPX?
I don't know if HPX, at that business summit, I did not see HPX there.
HPX had a representative at the business summit as well.
I didn't see them.
HPX had a meeting with ArcelorMittal as well.
And our anchor investor that made a case at the business summit was ArcelorMittal. I didn't hear a special presentation coming from HPX. Maybe that's why I didn't notice it.
Okay, and I will give that to you because I know you're a fair guy. Ketema?
Yeah, so I got an echo. I don't know why. Can you get
It's
echo?
Minister, but we got to manage for it. Oh, go ahead, Ketema.
Okay. So let me preface certain things. On this show, for the listening audience in Radio Land, online, it's a unique show. It combines interview and engagement. So we engaging you while we interview you. This is not a regular show. And we made it clear. It will give you 2 minutes to answer a question. We can extend to 3 minutes. And also, the host and the co-host have the right to intervene to remind you to come back to the topic. So this is not your usual celebratory, beautiful kumbaya discussion. So if you're offended, We're sorry, but our format is robust. Look, what I see, and Bro Pierre, I see a lot of defensive communication. No one said that going to that meeting or deal will be signed. 10 billion will come to that, bro. We just describing what you said for the listening audience. We are basically saying you met Assam Mittal, but nothing new has happened. Nothing groundbreaking. Say, look, Assam Mittal made a commitment of 10 million. Now they'll go 100 million. We're just describing the reality. So don't be defensive. Relax yourself. You're going to have a beautiful show. What we also said, these meetings are good, but for the ordinary people who want bread on their table, who want money in their pocket, who want a kid's school fee, they want to hear something tangible. So we speak for them. We don't speak for the government. That's your job. So when we speak, when we highlight these issues, we speak for them. So back to the issue. With all of this, we noticed that on the president delegation.
Stand on 1 minute before you ask your question.
Yeah.
You want me to communicate to the population? You gave me 2 minutes, but just the background you said, Jenna, before you ask your question, are 4 minutes already. It's
no,
not
now 1 hour.
well, I'll go ahead, no problem.
I'm the moderator. You want a moderator? If you want to play the role of a moderator, you should tell me. Pia, you're a salesman. Say a maggie. Start arguing. Let's go to the issue. Here's the point. On the website, on the official list, you have a number of people that were listed. But at the conference, you have more officials of government than listed. What accounts for the disparity?
All right. So the president was coming for the U.S. Africa Business Summit. The president was bringing his delegation. The list you saw, the release you saw, accounted for the president's delegation. Meanwhile, because it was a business summit, other sectors of government, following that the summit was to take place, started to make their own plans. Because they felt in their own estimation that their presence at such a summit was perhaps important. So they made simultaneous plan away from the official plan of the president, which listed the president's delegation. So as a result of that, yes, you must have seen some actors from the government who were there. And like you say, I try to be defensive. No, Katama, if you follow me, I'm not a defensive guy. I just tell you what the truth is and we move on. So yes, you are correct that there were people there beyond the scope of the listing that you saw from the president's office. That is because people made simultaneous arrangements to be there because they felt their sectors had something to do. And I can give you some example. LTA was not listed on the president's list, but they've determined at their own level that there were issues that were of interest and that they were the appropriate authorities to deal with that. So they made their plans consistent with their own arrangement and they came. All right, so you had a few situations like that, and yes, you're right to be concerned about it because if the government issues a delegation listening to say the government is going to this place, the president is going to this place, and this is the official delegation list, and you see people outside of that scope, yes, you got all rights to be concerned. But the only explanation I have is what I've just told you, that other people thought that their presence was necessary based on what they saw the scope of the conference to be, and they have made their own arrangements away from that official delegation listing that came from the executive mansion.
Ketema, can I squeeze in a follow-up, please? Mr. Minister, in the next few minutes, we'll be bringing in Gregor Coleman because we just want to do 2 for 1. That will save us the time here. We have limited time on the show. We'll be bringing in the adjunct. But let me ask you, Mr. Minister, very quick though, just to piggyback off Ketema's question. The first list that came out of 26, then we had another 9 lists, removing the name, LDC, CEO, Money Captain, and a few other people really removed their names. But at the program in Dallas, most of these people appeared. Was it intentional to reduce the list, remove people's name, So are we going back to the days that we were just on a fake list, Minister? I understand that you say other people joined, but what was the total number given you that went on the trip with President Bouaka?
So there's no intentionality to hire anything here, Stanton, because in the first place, when people come on such a trip, you see them. If Jerolime Pia, who was on the list, is in the hall, you will see. If Jerolime Pia was not placed on the list, but he's in the hall, you will see. So no, I don't think there was any intention to hire anything. And I want to go back to the answer I gave with the Katama situation. I think away from the listing that came from the president's office, there were a couple of simultaneous arrangements that were made by different sectors. And that led to more people than what was communicated by the listing that was made public. If there's another question as to whether their participation was necessary.
So how many? What's the total amount? You know, we gotta be rapid here. What's the total amount of people that you can to settle the Liberian people tonight? How many people were on the trip actually?
Officially.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Officially, I would want to still tie myself to what the executive mansion released. But I can also be honest. Yeah, but listen now. Everybody saw that press release, and Stanton just made reference to it. So it's something that we know because the executive mansion release on the website was everywhere. The point I just wanted to make, Katama.
Look, let me interrupt you, Becky, my brother, and that's what we do best. Please forgive me, Charlie. What the press release said, but you didn't say you guys had a advanced thing.
So why
you couldn't include? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, if you give me a chance at where I'm going.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
You have all right to be concerned that the press release said one thing, you saw something else. All right, I know that away from the press release, I saw two representatives from the LTA, for example, that were present at the conference. So you can consider that as, say, +2 to the listing. I know the brother from Lepteco was on the list, right? I mean, just help me out, Katama. Richardson Double.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So he was not an addition because he was already on the list. Money Captain could not make the trip. When I spoke to him, he told me he had an engagement in the UK. But that was the official explanation he gave me. But the sector was still represented by the mines minister that was already on the trip. I know we stayed on the trip for a number of days, and for the number of days we're there, I did not see the minister for with our portfolio, Mamaka Belete. But I saw her pass through just a single day.
Yeah, she was there. To be frank, she was there for 3 days. Well, let me name some of them because I'm not asking you to name all of them because we don't have the time. But my question here to you, they were there. We know it become a large group of people. But let's talk about the executive mansion. Those are with the president, okay, that went ahead of this trip. Why they removed their name from the list? Would it have been disingenuous to the Liberian people?
Like who? Like the press secretary, for example?
Press secretary and the rest of them that work at the executive mansion. Why they remove the name from the list?
As far as I can remember, Anthony Kessel's name was never removed from the list. He was on the list. He was one of the advance, and his name was there. Of the group that came in advance, I know Kura Fofana's name was not there, and I know some people seized on that.
Those are the people I'm talking about. Why they remove their names from the list?
But Kessel's name was never removed from the list.
I'm not talking about Kessely alone. I'm talking about the rest of them. You naming names and you say Kessely. I didn't call Anthony Kessely.
Yeah, but people's name were not removed. So in the case of Kura, which I can explain, is when the listing was initially made, it was not a determination that Kura should come, right? And then later on, the case was made, and you could see the fruit of that. Many of the people back home who follow, you realize that from all the sections we had, the executive mansion page were going live.
How much did the president, how much the government spend on this trip?
Unfortunately, I don't buy a ticket. I don't arrange. The details of that can come from those who arrange it. I wouldn't, honestly, to be honest with you, I don't want to say something to you that I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know why was spent. The red people can tell you the
reason why we are asking this question, Minister, is that at the end of the day, we beat on George. We went back and said, listen, you lied to us. The DSA, the extra fees, Ketamba, the extra hotel, and all the other yama you gather. Now there you go. This government, our government, hiding people names, putting people on slow way to come on a trip, removing the name from that. Let me finish that. Removing the name intentionally, putting them on slow way, and when we see them, you say, oh, they never supposed to come, but they had to come. Oh, the person has settled that's going to be there. But how much of the Liberian taxpayer money was spent, Mr. Minister, Information Minister? You say you don't know.
So if that is of interest to you, that's an information that can be made available. But I won't sit on the show now and tell you Stanton 1 million was spent. You want me to lie to you?
You can never lie to me because I respect you for that.
Yeah, you want me to have an honest conversation with you. So information that I don't have ready, I will tell you I don't have. It doesn't mean they probably don't deserve to know. You are a voice that I come in Katama, you are a voice that represent the interest of the public, and you're raising an issue that I guess the public will be interested in. So eventually we can make that information available. All I'm saying to you, I'm not saying we cannot make it available. I'm saying where I sit, I don't have it, so I can tell you. That's all I'm saying. So you have a right to be known. Yes.
So I think Pierre is right to say you don't have the information. But for the fact that the Minister of Information does not have that kind of information, so we have an information dissemination crisis. They say we have an information dissemination crisis.
No, because the information
hold on, let me finish.
Let me clear that coming before you go. The information minister is not.
The dispenser.
Maybe if you ask the minister of finance, how much been spent on the trip, you get a fact right away. You can't.
Let me finish.
Welcome to the show, Greg.
Relax yourself. I don't know why you relax.
You can't be a guy telling everybody to relax. When your voice is higher than everybody, you're shouting all day. Take it easy, bro. Take it easy.
All right, guys, let me pause you for a minute. Shettima, you go ahead. Allow me to pause you. Allow me to pause you for a minute. Let's welcome the police IG, Colonel Gregory Coleman. Thank you for joining us. We had to do this because we know we would not finish up with Cherry Limerick. He will be at their Judgment Day. Because we have to squeeze in Gregory. But Ketema, Gregory will be. We will have a very interactive program. It's okay.
And you came on the show before 1 a.m. one time, like, bro, why can't be here until the show ends?
Go ahead.
I will be until the show ends. I will move on. This show ends.
Yeah. I'm detecting a major information dissemination crisis. When the source, when the man who's supposed to know does not know, then we have a problem. Then the guy on the ground, men through whose hand the information should be channeled, do not have the information. The cost on taxpayer, on the president trip, the first major presidential trip of that nature, and the information is not open, we have a problem. This is the purpose of the rescue mission, to undo that crisis where information were heading, transparency in the spending of money. And we are here, and the Minister of Information has raised his hand, has given up on collecting and sharing critical data and information. I'm worried, I'm disturbed, my heart is broken. You can respond.
You want me to respond?
You can,
You haven't said anything that demands my response. So, for example, if there's a situation that involves the police and I don't have the facts, and Gregory is here, Gregory will give you the facts. If you are very keen on what was spent on the trip, you know who should have it. There's nothing wrong with me having it. The person who arranges expenditure for trip is the Ministry of Finance. You haven't gone to the Ministry of Finance and been denied to say we can't tell you how much it costs.
But you're the Minister of Information.
But you have to respond now. Then you want to. That's part of the weakness. And I said it. You shouting over everybody, but you tell somebody to relax. You yourself not even relax. When you talk to me, when I want to answer, you run all over the place.
Let him finish.
You cannot proceed that way. You say your heart was broken, never went through. I say nothing about it. I listen to you. Then I won't answer you fighting. You can't communicate like that. All I'm saying to you, you got to be honest with every conversation you have. Have you made any effort to ask the Minister of Finance about the cost of the trip and they say we're having something from the public? That's not happening. And if I say where I sit now, I don't have that information, it's just been truthful to you. Except you want to push me to lie. And just the fact that I don't have that expenditure information breaks your heart according to you. then I'm sorry. Take it easy so that heartbreak doesn't lead to something that, because I love you, my good friend. You must talk all the time. Anything happen to you now, I will be here.
Okay, sorry.
I have not caused anything, but let me change that. So the point is, you, Stanton, and anybody else who got interest in knowing what the cause of that trip is, you will know it. But don't make a mountain, a mountain out of a mole. Oh, the Minister of Information doesn't know everything. You know, my heart breaking. We can't do that. When the facts should be coming to you, they will come. This is an interest, like I said, because Stanton have asked it, you have elevated it, you will get the information that is required. What is that hard to understand?
Okay, Senator,
Yes,
we're going to do a segue. I just want to say this quickly. The guy is telling me he does not have the information. His job is Minister of Information.
No, there's not a guy, Mr.
He's
Pierre.
telling-
Call me Mr. Pierre, call me anything. Don't call me the guy.
It's a casual discussion. You don't
No,
have to.
don't do that, Katama.
No,
Mr. Minister, Mr. Minister.
I think we are demanding too much. I think you acting like an emperor that should be called your Royal Highness. And
I didn't say call me minister. I don't even care about that tattoo. I said don't call me the guy. Don't call me the guy. You know it's wrong.
Let's move ahead. Let's move ahead.
You can do what you want to do. Since you don't want to. No. You don't have to call me minister. Go ahead.
He's entitled.
Call me the boy. Call me the guy. I'm okay. Go ahead.
Let me show you a praises. I'm not one of your praise singers. Let's go to the issue. My point is simple. If you have Minister Information, I don't blame you for having information, but I'm disappointed. You came on a show to talk about the trip. The trip include the cost of the trip. You were all closing argument and question President Weah trip to the U.S. The cost of it. But you think you should not be questioned for the same thing. That's hypocrisy.
I've never gone anything called closing argument. Don't mislead the public. I don't know what you even call closing argument.
That's reloaded.
Say the fact to the public. Don't mislead the people because you're supposed to be a custodian of information. Whatever you call it. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me. So I want us to recognize the police IG Gregory Coleman. Minister Pierre, we will come back to you. We're keeping you on because I want you to be part of this conversation. The folks are asking that you remain on. We're going to have a very, very good conversation. Welcome to the show, every one of you. Please share our program. If you're watching us, please invite your friends. We are speaking to the Information Minister, Jeremiah Matthew Pierre, and also the police IG, the Labrador National Police IG Gregory Coleman. Colonel Coleman, welcome to the show. It's good to have you again.
Good evening. Good evening to all.
Thank you for joining us. I know it. We are bringing you in the hot zone. Sorry, it was hot from the Jeremiah Pierre, the minister point. But we're going to start with you on a baby step. We got a lot to discuss, and then we're going to get into the fire, folks. Like Yatama said, this is not your usual show. This show is set aside on a Sunday for us to bring in the newsmakers, people that make the news every day. You may not like our approaches yet. We'll be respectful, but we'll hold them accountable. So please get used to it. I want to welcome you, sir. My first question to you before I bring in Ketema Police IG. Let's talk about the $6.1 million your entity is requesting, borrowing. I don't know the term to use. In terms of you need logistics. It's illegal. Apart from the PPCC guidelines that you can go into any other place to borrow 6.1 million. And can you talk to us more about the intent of you borrowing 6.1 million, sir?
Thank you, Stanton. So first and foremost, I'm not borrowing $6.1 million. There is a deal ongoing with the government of Liberia and Dutch Health through the Ministry of Finance that the Liberia National Police will be the recipient of a transportation package value around that. The package is about $5.7 million payable over 5 years with an interest rate that the Debt Management Committee at the Ministry of Finance, Central Bank, they're all discussing the details on that. So as far as borrowing this cash, I can't speak to anything about it. I'm just a recipient of a package and I'm waiting for it.
Oh, so the Labrador National Police is not directly borrowing. I want us to be clear. You are going through the finance ministry, sir?
All of the deals being done through the Ministry of Finance. It will be subject to the PPCC. The Liberia National Police will not receive cash of $5.1 million. The Liberia National Police, when it is all concluded, if the government decides to go ahead with it, will receive only a transportation package valued at that.
Ketema, you want to follow up? I'm going to come back because I think we need more clarity on this amount. But before Ketema join in, though, logistic, what is lacking? Are you not getting enough from the budget? Is this an additional money that the finance ministry will be giving to the Liberia National Police?
No, Stanton. I mean, like I say, I think the questions, the technical composition of this should rest more with those at the Ministry of Finance. But what I can tell you about this entire arrangement is that it's something that was presented to government. Debt Management Committee has reviewed it. If they approve it, I have not seen the final copy of the budget. There will be a little under $1 million, I think somewhere around 970,000 placed on a line for us if it is approved. And then that, if we receive that, we'll go ahead, observe our procurement process, go to PPCC, get an authorization from them, a no objection from PPCC, then the procurement is going to go on. But if approved, the government of Liberia will be paying 15% of that amount, and the rest will be payable over 5 years. So that's as far as I know. But all of the details are being dealt with the expertise in that area. The Liberia National Police. One thing I want to make clear: we are not receiving cash. Neither is government of Liberia even seeing cash. It's going to be a package. The group came to Liberia. They look at our terrain to know the kind of areas we have, the difficulties with fuel and everything, to go back and make specific alterations to the vehicle to fit our terrain. So it will be customized to our terrain for the Liberia National Police.
You said the amount in question, sir, is how much?
Stand on. Listen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. The full details about this, let it go through the Ministry of Finance. I know the package is around $5.something million. And then with interest over 5 years, it comes to about 6. So I cannot give you the exact figures because I'm not the financial expertise. I'm just the patient one sitting here waiting to receive whatever is approved by government.
Okay, so I'm sorry, IG. I think we have to address this. Here's the document. Ketema, I just forwarded it to you. The DMC agreed to service the loan directly within the Liberia National Police budget by allocating $2 million for each fiscal year until the full amount is paid. And that's why I'm asking you the question. But I will hold off if you don't want to get into it. I respect that. But why would the finance ministry think that it is necessary to borrow in the amount of $6.134 million? It's kind of complicated, or something is not certainly right.
So,
and I'm going to share this with Minister Pia to be fair, because he's on the show. But go ahead. If you don't want to discuss it, I respect it.
There's nothing to hide about that. The document is self-explanatory. They gave a proposal payable over 5 years. The Debt Management Committee met. If they, as you see, I don't think that thing is even signed. I haven't seen the final copy of the budget to know whether it's being approved by government. But I mean, the document you have, I think it's a draft. So whatever they agreed on in their meeting will be communicated. But for now, until I can see the budget to know if they place anything on the line to support this initiative, then I'll be glad, because I know we ease most of our logistical concerns. Right now, we cannot even fully enforce because of these challenges. And if government was to even make money available in the budget for us to go ahead and do direct purchase, it would still limit the kind of impact that we need to make to be able to arrest the situation that we find ourselves in security-wise and be able to restore order in these troubling times.
Thank you very
So
much, Aji.
that particular package, I mean, it's my hope and prayer that it comes true. We desperately need it to be able to facilitate enforcement and be able to get this place, I mean, at some level of sanity.
So very quick before Ketema come in, the total amount you are talking about, is it 6.134 million or is it less?
Well,
what do you expect?
I think the 6.134, I don't know whatever figure you showed just now, is inclusive of the loan and interest over 5 years period. But I think I did hear you mention that government has agreed to put did you say
million in the budget? 2 million, yes.
So if government takes the route of putting 2 million in the budget, it will significantly, I mean, in my little understanding, it will significantly reduce the interest rate over time. So instead of even being 6.something million, it might reduce to something way less than that, because it was 5 years, it was payable over 5 years, which will have accrued interest of up to almost $1 million. But if they're going to be putting 2 million, that means the interest rate is significantly going to drop. So I think that's my little
the loan year is 6.134 million. That's the loan. The down payment is 920,000. The facilitated amount is 5.2 million. The ECA country premium is US 135,000. Now you talk about the interest rate and all the other stuff. We can break them down. You are paying 8.17% for 5 years. 8.17%. But let me bring in Ketema. Thank you very much, at least for throwing light on those.
Greg,
thank you.
how are you, my friend?
Ketema. Good evening. How do you do?
I want to follow up on. I got this echoing in this. Okay.
You will have that, Ketema. You will have it because you know the microphones are open.
Okay. So my question is, as a follow up to what Stanton said, do you think that process is outside the regular budgetary process? Do you think that people will be concerned that it did not go through the regular standard budget process?
The only way that particular loan can be approved, I mean, can go through, is unless the amount is allotted for in the budget by the legislature. So if it's not in the budget this year, that means it cannot happen. So we'll all wait to see what the final copy of the budget will read before we go any further. But if it's not there, that means that it cannot be serviced.
So that tells me that
the folks were very clear that, okay, if we're going to consider this, we have to put it in the budget to pay, I mean, when the budget passes. So let's wait and see what happens if they put it there or not. So it's definitely not outside of the budgetary process.
Okay, so it means that because of the interest, it will cost the taxpayer more money than if it were in the budget. If it were in the budget, the cost of that would be cheaper. Do we agree?
If it was in the budget, it would be cheaper. What do you mean by that?
If this process did not go through a private banking process, because the budget does not charge you for interest rate, right?
Ketema, do you understand why sometimes government go into private-public partnership? Is because, I mean, there are times that government will not have what it takes immediately to service certain things for public good. What is needed at this point in time to restore order in this place, the budget cannot compensate it. In order to be able to have police presence around to keep the very people you're concerned about in all of these matters safe. So I don't think it's all about just the dollar value. It's the greater good value that we should be looking at here. The dollar value is very important, but what is the dollar with all the people? What is the dollar with all the people? The greatest thing here is that this thing should go through the budget. It should go through the process of PPCC to meet all of the full requirements so that we can understand that there's value for money, but we need these things to be able to ensure safety and, most importantly, restore order that has been broken.
Okay, so here's what I do a follow-up. Just think about this scenario.
Yeah.
There is a justification for all the agencies in Liberia to spend. There's a justification. So someone said we have a critical sector. The budget does not allow for the inclusion, or we need to go outside, like you said, public-private partnership, and get loan. So all these agencies begin to go outside and arrange for loan to assist them to address those critical needs. We have a complete runaway deficit. We have deficit everywhere because the revenue does not match the amount of agencies going out to banks, and then FPRC goes to a local bank or international bank and get a loan. And then FDA say, you know what? We need some critical areas. We go to look at the bigger picture. I do agree that law enforcement need all the investment, all the logistical support to address some critical safety and security challenges. But imagine you spending, all these agencies are going to all the banks. Just imagine a scenario and getting a loan. And outside, and guess what? We're going to have a huge deficit, maybe a 3-to-1 deficit, $2 billion in spending and $700 million in revenue generation. Domestic resource mobilization is not at the amount at which we can do this. I'm just saying, I'm just imagining something for the ordinary people who are being told that my agency, I had the local agency on state enterprises. I said we allotted 1 million. We can go outside now and go to a private bank. You know what's going to happen in Liberia? It's going to be a devastating runaway deficit in our budget. So I want you to imagine that. I'm not trying to say it is wrong. I'm just imagining how it will affect our income, because basically the government will be in debt. If you leave from police, the next police director will inherit the debt. They got to pay for a debt that Gabriel Coleman took from the bank. The next LPRC managing director will inherit $10 million that the previous took from the bank. So all the agencies start going to local banks and start getting loan. You know what's going to happen? There's going to be a loan rescue mission. That's what I was saying.
The loan rescue mission. Gregor, go ahead. Jerry, let Pierre Ishin to talk. You call it the government loan rescue mission.
Kyatama, since we're trying to get ourselves imagining stuff, let me. I want you to. You already got on the action, so let's assume your eyes are closed, and imagine yourself living in Selega, on the bank of the river Zeliba, at the foot of the Mount Wologisi. And there is a guy sitting in Moruga intellectualizing the safety of people who are exposed to a lot of danger in the name of believing that everyone who take a job in the public sector are already indicted as criminals. The thing here about this, I think you're putting the cart before the horse. The best thing to do about this particular process is to wait for the budget to pass. This is a proposal to government. I'm not a financial management expert,
but the budget has passed, though. Greg, sorry to interrupt you. The budget has passed.
Do you have a copy?
I will send you what they sent to the president. The president needs to sign it, and that's it.
If I do have an official sign, I wish I had an official signed copy before I got on this show tonight. Then I would have been able to even address it further. But let me tell you, there were experts that sat down. We did a full risk analysis, looking at where we are as a nation, looking at all of the issues that we're faced with security-wise, looking at the vulnerability that exists in this country and its spillover risk factor to the sub-region. All of that were taken into consideration for us to make a determination as to what we need at this particular point in time to get some level of safety. The truth of the matter is what is required at least to bring that level of security to a place where you, Kyatama, can actually walk around freely without being harassed is something that if they had true in the budget, government would not have afforded it. So this decision to consider this route was in the best interest of safety and security. But I know we're all indicted as criminals, But I will ask that you all pause on this. Let's see what the budget reads and see what lines captured here. And then we can take this conversation on from there. But again, the Liberia National Police is not receiving cash. The Liberia National Police is going to be receiving a package, a transportation package, to be able to cover the entire country, motorcycles, vehicles, and all of the needed logistics that comes along with that transportation package. So let's not intellectualize the security of the people. Let's look at the substance, the greater good value that this particular investment, if made, will bring about. And I hope people are listening, and I hope we can get support, even in your comments online, for the police, for us to be able to get those things to return sanity, to at least make this place somewhere that we all can be proud of. And I know, Ketema, you're around, you're seeing how things are greatly changing, and I know you're proud of it, whether you admit it or not. And I know you feel a little safer than you were a few months ago. Tell me,
okay,
not ahead of yours.
So, Greg, first of all, I agree. I feel safer than 3 months ago. That's true.
Thank you.
And also, you're doing a wonderful job. I don't have no doubt. But I can tell you something. Even the CIA budget is trimmed down. Even the defense budget is trimmed down. Not because this IG submit a budget or decides to get good at loan.
Don't even make that comparison.
Hold on.
It's important to even make that kind of comparison, because what is required to actually keep the state
I'm not speaking for you. I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking for myself. When I finish speaking for myself, you speak for yourself. Yeah?
Yeah, we're having a conversation, so we'll be
I want to see you doing this show to make plan with everybody. I can be who
you can plan with myself. 2 hours balance
it. There's something called wasteful spending. Not because the security sector in this country can demand for anything, but it has to be verified. I'm trying to tell you that where we came from were excessive spending, discretionary spending, that were runaway spending that affected our country. So our job is to look at the other side of your argument. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not trying to say it's wrong. I feel safer, and I think a wonderful job. But I don't think you should be giving a blank check to get any money you want because you IG, because you want to save my life. So you can go get $100 million in my knee. No, we have to go line by line, and that is what I'm saying. I have to ask these hard questions. I'm not here to be praising people. I'm here to look at the other side of the debate. And my man Pierre Umpa will keep in that corner. You're not talking on the ratio over. So Stand up, go ahead.
Okay, now let me piggyback off this budget thing. We'll go to Minister Pierre. Minister Pierre, we come to you.
You brought Ketema here to disgrace me?
Yeah, I mean, I hear Ketema based. I want to go to the IG real quick. IG, real quick though, the budget has passed. The president signed the budget already. Okay, because Kula Fofana made that announcement, I think yesterday or day before yesterday. He signed the budget. It has been signed into law. So let's just move from that. I think your Liberia National Police received $3 million from the budget. Is that what was requested by you, or you requested more money? IG.
We requested a little more than that, but I'm happy to know that we got $3 million. But I can tell you one thing: that amount, the money we're requesting, 2.something million alone, was going towards salary of over 1,000 officers who are coming in from class 46, 45, and 46, who are just being added to the payroll. So that's not money to say that LNP going to have operational stuff. Remember that this is always a personnel-based budget. So if they tell you they're giving LNP $3 million, or that $3 million, $2 million going up really for salaries. So technically, maybe just about $1 million given to us.
So let me, Ketema, are you done? I want to squeeze in one quick question. Let me ask a question about I know we never had you at the time when we broke this news. And I want to hear from Minister Pierre on this as well. Was it your recommendation to give the family member of the 3 individuals that died in Kenjo, the family member $5,000 each? Was it your recommendation, IG?
No, it wasn't.
But you heard about it, correct?
Yes, I've heard about it.
Have you guys given them the money, $5,000 each?
Well, bro, the policeman can do everything. The policeman is not the one paying the family. So I will not know if they've disbursed the funds or not. But I can make a follow-up, and I will definitely get back to you. So it has nothing to do with police paying them. No.
But how did it come about though? Who recommended that let's give them 5,000 each that they can take care of the situation? Because you control the scene. You gave a comprehensive report to the Minister of Justice. You make your recommendation. So who asked for 5,000 to give it for those that die? Is that a guilty fund?
Well, I mean, I don't know who asked for $5,000 to give them. I mean, my report is clear. The recommendations are there. I think there's a recommendation for support for the family, but as far as it relates to boxing it to an amount, I don't know whose idea was that. And it's not a guilty. It would never be a guilty fund, because the thing is, Stenta, I hate the fact that I will have to try to make justification around this issue, and my comments are not a justification about the death of the citizen. I will always remind you all here, whenever this topic comes about, whenever there is a loss of life at the hand of a law enforcement officer whose duty is to protect life and property, it is a failure on our part, whether it's justifiable within the use of force or not. The situation with this particular issue. So if we ask for the family to be compensated, if we're not asking it, it's because this is our country. We understand the difficulties, the challenges, and everything surrounding it. It's not a guilty fund. It's not a guilty fund.
My last question to you on this round, Adji, and I will bring in Minister Pierre to speak about this 5,000 because he should know more. I think he led the delegation to give the family member 5,000. But we'll talk about it when I get to him. Adji, I want to say thanks to you and your team, and help me please explain to our Liberian people. I received information that you guys made some arrests concerning the death of the lady that died around Ghana's area, Nimbo, her name. Can you talk to us about the arrest, please?
Well, there were two suspects arrested. One of them has been charged and sent to court, and the other one, I believe, is released. The doer of the act, the murderer, is presently in the correction facility at Center Street.
Okay, you can go more into that.
I don't know what do you want to give details about names or?
Yeah, I mean, if you think you can we share his photo? Can we share the information? Has he been before the judge yet?
Oh yes, his photo was posted on our page. I think the detailed information surrounding his arrest was also shared there as well, and he's been sent to court. So once we send the case to court and we receive the returns from the court, I don't think it's something that can be shared with the public. We're now working on a mechanism through which we'll be able to, once the case goes to court, we will now come back, look at the return, do whatever redactment needs to be done, and we'll upload it to our site so people can have access to some of these pieces of information. Because one of the things I continue to hear people talking about is that most of these issues, there's no closure. But even the ones that are closed, they're not properly articulated to the public. So we're on. The process is ongoing. IDLO is helping us through our gender sensitivity program to rebuild our website, and that the new website will be quite informative and interactive. There will be a lot of access to a lot of information on our site, and you'll be able to pull reports from there. You will be able to use the Freedom of Information Act and all from the website. So within the next few weeks, I mean, it's going to take some time to really populate it. So in the next few weeks, once it is up and running, I think some of these issues will be resolved.
Thank you very much. We'll come back to Colonel Coleman, Gregor Coleman, to talk about the road safety issue, the PEN, the KK, the new implementation that is saying that, well, the zones are cleared on the major street. People are driving, but yet and still folks are complaining that they are walking 2-3 hours because the Kenken, Pepe, and Tenten that used to take them around, they are having an issue. We'll talk about the insurance implication as well. And we're still in this conversation because we want to hear more from the IG. Let me come to you, Minister. The issue about, giving 5,000 to the family members. I mean, are you aware? Were you part of the team?
Which team?
That gave 5,000 to the deceased family members from Kenjo.
And I heard you saying earlier you saw a delegation going there in our part of the delegation.
No, I'm asking a question now. That was a fly.
I mean earlier.
Yeah, that was earlier. We're talking about now.
All right. So it's good that the RG is no man, Katama, you know I'm not forcing. You know I'm not forcing. It's good that the RG is on. The RG and his people did a comprehensive report on the King George situation. He fortunately shared copy with me, and I think that's kind because, you know, unlike my brother Katama, who said we got information minister, I would know everything. If Gravy didn't give me a copy, I would not know anything, right? So it is incumbent upon all of the sectors. We do by right, and some of them they do voluntarily. But
I agree.
Yeah, Katama, if they don't do and I don't do, I will not lie. I'd rather tell you, say, I don't know that I go to Gravy and say, Gravy, your daily report, what is it? That would be more honest on my part. It would be more responsible than to just pretend that Mr. Bogina, who knows everything and therefore must have answer to everything. And I'm not sure I was trained like that. So yeah, you got to bear with me. There will be instances where I will tell you, Katama, I'll get the other answer. I got to go find it. And if that means information dissemination and it's pricking your chest, I will help to make sure that nothing happens to you because I love you so much. So to answer your question specifically, Stanton, I saw the report. Those were recommendations. The recommendation went to his boss. The police is under the Ministry of Justice. In considering those recommendations, of course, the Ministry of Justice will have to clear with the whole of government, maybe the cabinet if possible, or just the president, whatever it is. And the honest truth is, I sense those recommendations were made by Colonel Coleman. Nobody has gotten back to me to say these are our findings on the recommendation that was sent by Colonel Coleman. So I'm not in the know of any 5,000 that have been paid to anybody.
Let me real quick while we stay with you, because whenever you're not speaking, I will mute you. I'm sorry because of the feedback from your end. And when you're speaking, we'll bring you on. I've really got to go to Colonel Coleman, but I want to stick with you for a bit. And I think, Katama, you want to agree with this. Let's talk about the information out there about President Boubacar flying private jet. I want you to bring up to speed, Minister Pierre.
Play Johnson were asking. Okay, good question.
Man, I can tell my style. The message will be we'll make it rapid. So,
so the first thing, and I want you to hold me by this going forward, Stanton. I'm not going to be part of those who believe that generally the flying of private jet is a taboo. What I will fundamentally have problem with, if all of the options that are available to the president or anybody else to follow or to travel are considered, and the preference is to charter maybe a private jet that has a huge cost implication, I have a problem with that. And the context of private jet maybe got to be defined, because when I was press secretary to President Sirleaf, I think I made over 50 trips with the president that were on jets, not on commercial airlines. But on no conditions were any of those jets charter jets or that require taxpayers' money. So, say President Sirleaf, I remember one time we were going to Equatorial Guinea. Anybody who has traveled, and I hope my brother Katama has traveled that route before. Katama, if you went straight to Equatorial Guinea, maybe it will be 1 hour, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes. But the commercial route that is available is about 4 days, maybe minimum 3 days. So the President Sirleaf at that time, she had a trip to make to Equatorial Guinea. We had the commercial ride available, and then we had the option of a jet. And then we offer a jet. In about an hour, 20 minutes, hour, 30 minutes, we're in Equatorial Guinea and back. Now, if the jet comes with no cost to the government, I don't think people should insist that, no, you have to fly private jet at all, or jet, because I don't know which one to call it, whether private or whatever they call it. Don't fly jet at all. So my information is this, Stanton. The president has just arrived, and I'm happy to see the movement the president is making, because this is somebody who many say would have even died before the elections. I'm 57, maybe around half of the president's age. When I travel, I know what I experienced the day after I traveled. This president left the United States. He got back to Liberia. The next day, he was on our flight to Equatorial Guinea. What is my information? There was a situation that has both national and international implications, which I can detail or which I can explain. that required the president going there. And those who wanted him to go there to make that representation provided a means of travel. And so he went there, which was a jet. As far as my information is concerned, except proving otherwise later, I have not been told that it was of any cost to the government. But
So who provided the jet?
So I said the mission had both national and international implications. To explain to you who provided the jet is to begin to avoid the international implications, which I would not want to do. I'm not authorized to do so.
So, hold on 1 minute. We get a bad feedback from you, Minister, but with Manasseh, Ketema, I want us to follow up. We understand you have national and international security implications. We are talking about Guinea-Bissau, though. But who provided the jet? Would that also tell us part of the security reason why our president have to fly on private jet?
So we still got to define the context of private jet. Okay, is that part of the reason why the president flew on a private jet? Oh yes. If president had an assignment that had international implications, and the forces that are involved with that provide.
Who sent the president the private jet, Minister? Who sent the private jet?
To explain that to you, will be going into the very international implications.
But why Kula Fofana say was sent by Guinea-Bissau? Why you have the political? Hold on 1 minute, sir. Let me ask you, sir. I beg that you be patient. Let me ask this question. Why Kula Fofana said that the president traveled on the private jet that was sent by Guinea-Bissau? Why the political advisor, Madam Magdala Cooper, said here on Spoon that the president flew on the private jet that was sent by ECOWAS. And now you're saying because of security implications, you cannot tell the Liberian people. Is that 1, 2, 3 stories? Where are we, sir? Who sent the private jet? Which one of them you believe?
All right. So I'm not going to go into what each of them told you. As the Minister of Information, I have said the mission had both national and international implications. And without confirming or not confirming the different quotes you're talking about, I didn't hear Kula speak. I didn't hear Magdala Cooper speak. But I'm speaking representing myself and the government as a spokesman. And I'm saying the mission had both national and international implications. And so the means of transport was addressed by those interested in having President Bouakai there. But the most important thing is the government did not spend any money to charter jet for President Bouakai to fly. I think that's what is key. And I want to end on that with the note again. I will not be one person who will jump into any thought process that there is a taboo here for the president to fly on a jet if that is of zero cost to the country.
And that was my position. Jeremy Pierre Minister, that was my position, and I came on Spoon. People beat me on it. I said that if the president have to do the people's work within the region and he can get there on time and in time, he lead a private jet. But then folks are saying we want to know whether the government is paying for the private jet, right? Because we had our former president said the jet was given to him by his friend that he flew for 6 years. We don't want to go back to that story. But you, the information minister, you cannot tell us who sent the private jet.
I agree with you 100%, but I thought I answered the question that the jet being used did not cost the government a dime. I said that.
Yeah, but you couldn't tell us, you're not telling us who sent the plane, though.
Stanton, as the Minister of Information, if I'm told and I'm briefed about a mission by the president, I'm told that mission has both national and international security implications. And I'm not authorized to speak of those implications. Stanton is saying, talk about it because you're information minister, you got to say something at all costs. Stanton, I'm saying, to tell you the source of the jet will be as much as diverging the implication I'm talking about.
But if you cannot say, my argument is that you are not saying it, but the press secretary is saying it. You are not saying that, but the political advisor to the president is saying it. So why are you hiding?
All right. So why are you quoting from the political advisor and the press secretary? I'm not sure we're on the same page, right? You did say the press secretary say Guinea-Bissau, right? And you say the political advisor said what? ECOWAS? Now, I'm saying to you,
I'm going to let me play it.
This private jet is not, it's a say, why the president is going on private jet. But I would say there's nothing wrong with a country inviting our president and inviting him and sending the presidential queen. And this was specifically in light of the
Did you just hear what she said?
all right. So in the government communication machinery, the information minister is the boss. So let's zoom and let's agree with you that Kula spoke and she said what she said. The reason why even in my ministry, sometimes deputy ministers will go and talk before I come is because as the minister of information, I'm a fixer. If one of my own men slip or says something that I believe,
Kula slip,
I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying what I have spoken is what you should listen to. That's what I'm saying.
No. So let me bring it Ketema. I just played the one from Kula. Let me play the one from Magdalena, the political advisor.
You flew on a private jet, which is true. I thought we were done with the private jet issue, man. With George Floyd.
Stanton, here's the thing, and I'm going to speak as Magdalena Cooper, not as a political advisor to the president. You know, there are meetings that we from the executive mansion or the minister of state, and again, I don't speak on behalf of the minister of state. I speak right now as Magdalena Cooper. The president came from the United States on Essen Brussels, or I believe it was Essen Brussels. We went to the airport to pick up the president. And the very next morning, our president had to leave Liberia to go to Guinea-Bissau for a meeting that was planned, a very important ECOWAS meeting. And the ECOWAS team, the group of people who invited the president, sent him a plane. I particularly don't see anything wrong with it. Liberia didn't pay for it.
So Ketema, I don't know who will believe Ketema.
Two things I have to talk. Two things. I come in and when you play something, you expect reaction. Two things I have to talk about. One,
Let me tell you how to run our show.
no, but why would a man say something and you want me to respond, Ketema? Then you're not being fair to me now. I'm not running your show, but he was questioning me when he played the two tips, and you don't think it's fair for me to respond to it?
But we would ask you to do it.
So, okay, now you have asked me. Can I go ahead now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, I wouldn't dwell on what Magdalena Cooper said because she sent a caveat that she was not speaking in an authorized position. But more than that, her concluding statement did not say what you said, that ECOWAS sent plane for the president. She didn't say
I can play it all. Let me play it all.
The organizer, listen.
No. You know what? Pierre, you're right. And let me play it all. I want you to hear it from herself. Exactly as she said, ECOWAS sent the plane. I beg you, let me play it all if you want me to do that. But now we'll go back to Kula though, right? He said, don't listen to Kula. And he positioned himself. He said, I am the Minister of Information.
You know your confusion is. I'm telling you, don't listen to Kula before you say the man disrespect the president.
What's different?
I said,
what's the difference?
I said, I am the Minister of Information, the government chief communicator.
So, Mona, listen to other people.
Put the index finger down. Put the index finger down.
I'm saying,
Listen to Kula again.
Katama.
We'll not forget about Kula.
I mean, you're not
That's a very important point that I want to draw your attention to, Mr. Minister. Kula said the country that sent for the president provided the plane. And you are telling us that because of national and international security reason, you cannot tell us who provided the plane. But the press secretary said Guinea-Bissau provided the plane. And you said, well, you are the government spokesperson. We should listen to you. Then I said, don't listen to Kula. Even if your deputy speak off cuff.
That politics will not work. Kula is a professional colleague. Kula is.
I respect Kula.
I'm just saying whatever I'm saying supersedes anything you've heard at the Minister of Information. That's what I'm saying. But to interpret it to say, don't listen to the president, then our politics will own and our politics will not work with me. I'm just saying, in this instance.
So you think Kula made a mistake, or she was right to say the Guinea-Bissau government sent a plane?
I wouldn't say that, and I believe Kula is doing an excellent job, but I will come back to say whatever I said now, that matter supersedes anything you may have heard earlier.
Senator,
Yes, sir.
Here's what I'll say. Honestly, I've known Pierre. He's one of the most qualified person for the job. He's a great guy. But I think I pity him. The man getting no information. The man not know nothing going in the government. The man got zero information. The man's a minister of information. Okay, now call him minister of no information. Because the man got no information. The man not know nothing going in the government. The manager had it for him. I'm
So-
the one behind the sabotage of my brother, and we will resist.
So I've been on the show for.
Let me finish, my man. Let me
I've
finish.
been on the show for 1 hour 40. No, I come in.
Okay.
I've been on the show for 1 hour. I'm not getting the one with make grumble. You madam, we make grumble. I will not get you.
I got to speak on that.
Yeah, your own show. I will have that. I've been on the show for 1 hour 40 minutes. If you watch
Yeah,
it.
well, they treat them well. They had information from Pierre.
Yeah,
Now we
okay,
ask him for it, he said,
I
I not
agree.
get it.
I
We
agree.
ask him for that, and I get it. When the people
Nah.
get it, he said, "Man, I listen to them." They will
I
say,
agree. I
they will
agree.
have more information,
I
baby,
agree.
because
My
the
brother, so
minister he don't get nothing. But they
I've
keep
been
it
on
back.
the show for 1 hour and 40
All right,
minutes.
let's give the minister a chance. Let him finish up. We got to go back to Colonel Gregory.
I've been on the show for 1 hour 40 minutes. I remember only 2 instances you wanted me to tell you how much trip cost. I said I didn't have the information. And then there's a second one. But you
No,
know,
we said how many people came. You say you never had the information either.
I'd name people to you. How could you say that? That's been unfair.
You say how many people came in total. You say you never had the
So
information.
the point is, it is good to be tough. I know I've known Kyatama for a long time. In fact, he's a brother. He always let us show people that he's tough. So in his zest to be tough, he will say all the things he's saying, which is fine, Kyatama. It's very fun. But if you kept me here for 1 hour 41 minutes now, and you had those 2 instances that you expected me to lie to you, and I say, Jeremy Pia will not lie, and you're making all your statements. In fact, when I was coming to the show, I thought the one you were going to start with is the one that you had. I know you're putting your audience in Zico.
Go on. Otherwise, you should work out there. We're done with you yet. No, we're done with you yet. We'll send you the stage.
You and Stanton are even concerned about the confusion I'm working on.
Hold on. I beg you, Minister. Minister, hold on. Let's go to Gregory.
Minister, what has happened to that ministry? When I got money to work, nothing. You don't care. My own
Minister,
I care.
I care for you. You know that.
Minister, you got money. You got money in the budget. It's coming. We're seeing the budget line.
Okay.
We're seeing the budget line.
The ministry issued vote end the show so we can tell the story.
I agree.
We will. Let me go to Colonel Coleman. Colonel Gregory, let's just brush off with you because I like the interaction, folks. Again, brother, every one of you that are out there, thank you for joining Spoon. We have the police IG Gregory Coleman and we have Minister Geraldine McPierre, Minister of Information. It's very important that you join us every Sunday with the Newsmaker. This is Spoon, the part of Spoon that says one-on-one with the CEO as Ketema remain the co-host. And just to let you know, Ketema will be taking over this thing, and Ketema will have another day during the week, and promoting what Ketema.
You're gonna be fired. Me and Pierre gonna have a show.
And let me say this to you. I want to bring you in, Colonel Coleman. And let me ask you about WCC, my man. Where are you? I know this will involve the Liberia National Police. But before I ask you about the sanction, about the War Crime Code, your preparation and other engagement you'll be going through, I want you to please help us understand what took place this on Friday in Jacobtown. Can you give us an overview? What led to that major demonstration around Jacobstown? You're muted, sir. Can you please unmute? Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
The Jacobtown incident was an enforcement of Supreme Court ruling. The police went to support the sheriff of the court to do an eviction. And there was a call to rally up the youth. And in no time, over 4,000 young people descended on the sheriff and the police.
Wow.
And started stoning them. I mean, this was a legitimate court order ruling from the highest court in the land. Damaged a lot of properties. blocked the road, impeded the movement of people for a prolonged period, went to the police station, caused serious damage there as well. Police, I mean, we, as usual, stood our ground. We had to be very, very articulate in how we responded to them in communicating our expectations from them as citizens. The more it escalated, we did not escalate our force. We pulled back. We went and protected our police station, and subsequently removed the roadblocks and cleared the road. It caused significant property damage, serious bodily injury to police officers and citizens alike. And the bottom line is, this is just totally unacceptable. There's just this. There is something fundamentally wrong here, and we all have to pay attention to it. And what I witnessed there is something that we should all be concerned about. And I will choose my words very carefully, because I know this could be easily manipulated, and misinterpreted. But what we noticed there on that day have got semblances of radicalization, and we must pay attention to it. We have a lot of young people here who are receiving wrong messages, and this belief that violence is the only solution to anything there is, and it has to stop. The rule of law will exist. It does exist. The laws will be enforced, and the court order will be duly executed. It will be, because this is a country of laws. It's not a country of men. And people will be arrested. People will pay for their actions. Investigations are ongoing. The few footages we were able to pick up, we are now analyzing them. We're going to be reaching out to the community to help us to point out those people, and they will be arrested. They will be prosecuted. This has to stop. It has to stop. And the one who called the rally up the group against the police, he too will be brought in for investigation. I mean, who
called the rally? Sorry to interrupt. Who's the individual you were serving?
One of those loudspeaker. It was one of those loudspeakers. I mean, the officers could not interpret what was being said, but it was something that sounded like a call to prayer. And once it went out, all people just started descending from all.
Who were you serving invasion on?
Well, it was not one person, but the key thing that provoked the riot was that an Islamic school fell within the area that was being evicted, and they just descended and became extremely violent when the police was only there carrying out a legitimate function. The police pulled back. Fortunately, I mean, there was no loss of life. There was severe injuries to police officers and property damage that we're still trying to actually put a figure on right now. I mean, it is bad. It is wrong. Order has to be restored to this place. And listen, whether people like it or not, it's our responsibility to enforce law in this country, and we will enforce it. We cannot sit here and let people just think that this is the Wild Wild West, or this is a hedonistic society where anybody can do anything that they want to do. It's not. And we will enforce it. So I always like to take the all of community approach. This issue, we're going to call in the community. There will be investigation. People will be arrested. And most importantly, the court order will be enforced. It will be.
The other side saying that because this gentleman in question with spending he from the CDC government and have close affiliation with the former president, that's what caused the demonstration.
He's an imam.
Imam. Is that any truth to that?
Well, if he was in the Toba government and holding the position that he holds right now and having the influence that he has, it would have been the same. Okay. So let brush up that because it's an ongoing investigation. Ketema, you want to add to it? Because I know you're a Muslim. I mean, by religion, you are a Muslim man, and it's a highly populated Muslim area. So it involves an imam. You want to add to this?
Yeah, I know Imam Sisse to be from the Black Jeda Mosque, and I'm told that there were community folks that apparently went to his rescue or went to the property.
Went to his rescue? What was happening to him?
I don't know. They say his property to protect his property. That's a version I heard. I said many versions.
Listen, to protect his property against what? Against the action of the court?
Do you want me to tell you the version I heard, or you want me? You want me to tell you the version?
Go ahead with your version.
What I've been hearing.
Okay.
So you give me a chance. You can respond after.
Okay. Sure.
All right. So what I heard was that. Now I actually posted on Facebook yesterday to just ask a basic question on what is this issue. So I'm glad you're here. So expand for us. I just wanted to find. I heard so many different versions. I don't know which one is true. I just want to know.
So I mean, what I just explained is what happened, and this is the police official statement. It was in the enforcement of a Supreme Court ruling to evict members of the community of that community. Portion of it fell in an Islamic school. Youth got very routed and became extremely violent. And that's what happened.
Okay. Same time, we can move.
Interference with law enforcement. Just upright disrespect and disregard for the laws of the land. Wanton disrespect.
Thank you very much, Gregor Coleman, Colonel. Let me bring you to the.
Come under control now, right? It's under control now, right?
Well, it's we had to take the higher ground because ultimately we're responsible for safety and security. The hoodlums would not be held accountable if anything goes wrong. So we had to pull back. But like I said, the order will be enforced.
So you didn't serve the document, no, right?
Well, it's the eviction was about to begin. We could not evict that particular property because the youth became very, very violent. So we had to pull back. So they interrupted the exercise of law enforcement function.
Wow. Let me bring you to the War Crime Code. The Liberia National Police will be very, very much involved. And I'll also bring you about the information we are gathering concerning sanctions individuals. Can you give us an overview? I don't want to go into it, but I want to give you the chance. What you can tell Liberian people at what limit you can, the information, I know you have some limitation. How far can you tell? Can you give the Liberian people concerning the War Crime Code and those sanctions information that are coming up?
Section, we're law enforcers. The only thing we're paid and authorized to do is to enforce law. If and when the Liberian people speaks, which I believe they have through their representatives and the Senate, and that court is established, the Liberian National Police will play its part to the best of our ability. We'll be helping to conduct investigations, witness protection, and every other security role that we will be needed to perform. And we exercise our duty with the authority that has been given to us by the people. So yes, the police will support it when the court is established. 100%.
Is that any special training? You guys have to undertake any special training? Because this is new now for Liberia, right?
Well, there will be some specialized training required, a lot. There will be refresher trainings as well that will be required. So all of these things, we're now beginning to look at our training calendar. We're doing training needs assessment as it relates to the support we could be providing if and when. Because the thing is, do we want to be caught with our pants down? We don't want to be like we don't want it to be like, okay, we've reached a point where the court is now active and the police is now ready to provide the support to bring people from outside. So we're just doing the necessary assessment, making arrangements for what it's going to take, how long it's going to take to have the men prepared. Do we need additional manpower for the support? What kind of trainings and stuff will we need? What kind of expert help will we need from outside? So all of those assessments, since the signing of the document, we're working on them to be able to get a clear picture of where we stand in support of the court. It becomes, a law, and it will be enforced.
But what you know, I beg you, Ketema, let me squeeze in one of your comment, please. I want to hear from Colonel Coleman about sanction individuals in the country. What's going on? We're receiving information here and there that Liberia National Police are gearing up for some kind of assignment when you talk about sanction individuals. Just to add, those individuals, most of them are lawmakers.
Well, Stedon, I have initiated what we term as the Chinese War Protocols surrounding any intel being gathered to support investigations as such. But the police have started to receive credible intel. I mean, what seems to be credible intel on multiple issues, I mean, of grave concerns. I mean, and amongst those issues has to do with the sanctioned officials. And I mean, there's also intel about others who are not even on the sanction list. But like I say, I will not go any further on it. The Chinese War Protocols are in place to protect that information. There's different levels of compartmentation surrounding it, but we will be making official requests through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the U.S. government to also give us information to assist if it is established that what we have here calls for an investigation. So we're looking into that, but I cannot come in any further. Look, this place. Order has to be.
You speaking in turn. I beg you.
One second.
Okay.
Even those who are sanctioned, they've been calling for investigation. They want to know why they were placed on the sanction as well. So it's an opportunity for them. So I hope when we decipher the intel and it reaches a point where it could lead to an investigation, that they will also be cooperative to support it if it reaches a point of investigation, or when it does.
Somebody planning something, and then one of the sanctions members planning something. Because if you say you're receiving intelligence that people trying to, you're not saying something that the people want to hear now, but you're scaring others. You have sanction members. You have Bill Twawe. You have Nathaniel McGill, Serena Seafors, Prince Johnson, Emmanuel Nukwe, Albert Chie, Van Sherman, and the other people that stay out there. But right now, you have how you call him, Samuel Twed, and the other guy, the former mayor, Joseph Koji. You got 9 or 10 individuals that's sitting on U.S. watch sanction. I think your intel you're receiving, don't tell me, but you'll be afraid. Somebody planning something when here comes investigation. Would there be any problem in the country?
Let me make it very clear to the Liberian people, they have absolutely nothing to be afraid of. The state is in charge. We've taken charge. We are in charge. We've taken charge. And the security of this place will be adequately preserved. There's absolutely no one planning anything. This is just normal intel gathering that's landing us on pieces of information that we are deciphering to see if it could lead to investigation. So there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. And listen, nobody has any capacity to disrupt this state here at this particular point in time. Nobody can do it. Nobody on our sanction list can disrupt the piece of this nation. Won't go get what you government.
Wow. Ketema, you want to add to this?
Yeah, Stenton, actually, guys.
I mean, the last part of the information, Ketema is shaking though, and I see Jeremy Pierre shaking his head as information minister. But to bring the twist in and say sanction people, the Liberia National Police or the NSA receiving information on sanctioned individuals, like they're planning something, that is concerning, and I think we should.
So no, Stenton, let's just make it clear. The intel does not.
What about you and Pierre will make it clear?
Let me break it down. The intel does not speak to them planning anything. The intel is around information about different actions that what we're trying to now establish, what are these things that we are gathering who have any connection to the sanction. So it's not like they're planning anything. These people are serving the state in different capacities. They're statesmen. As far as the Liberian government is concerned, the intel does not speak to them planning any subversive activity. The state is safe. The police is in charge. We have the full support of the joint security. So there's absolutely nothing to worry about. So let's just de-escalate it and don't try to take it to any different level. So that's as clear as I can be. So you can take a breath, Stanton, and lay back.
No, thank you. Ketoma, go ahead.
Stanton, actually, what you said is I have a bunch of information. I want you to check your WhatsApp. I sent it to you on the same Intel issue. I think Coleman is doing his job. He does not want to alarm the public. He's a guy who thinks everything is fine. Everything is going on normal. Nobody get by in 10. They just want to do kumbaya. Country is safe. Nobody will cause no problem. Policemen, the bike rider will ride a helmet. They'll follow the rules. Just kidding. But
and then you woke up from your sleep. You got all about that La La Land. You got to be dreaming to think that way.
But on a serious note, tell us about the bike, the policy, the implementation, everything. Tell us about the whole bike helmet situation. Give us a picture.
So the first thing here, I want to say hats off to the leadership of the motorcycle and tricycle associations. They've been quite supportive based on what we've agreed upon. They have been engaging their members. They've been talking to them. There will always be people who will attempt to violate. They will test the resolve of the police. But the thing is, eventually it will get better. We started. The Bible says you can't put your hand to the plow and turn back. So we ain't turning back. We're going to ensure that the enforcement will continue. Thanks and appreciation goes to the officers of the police who have been very, very committed to this exercise. They get up at 4 o'clock, go on deployment. Sometimes they don't leave till after 8 o'clock before we even de-escalate to bring additional teams in the field. So I want to say special thanks and appreciation to all of the commanders, all of the line officers out there in the field enforcing this. This thing is all about safety. What we set up is a strict enforcement zone. And like I said the other day, this zone, the reason why we've started with motorcyclists and tricycles, because they're the most vulnerable. But this zone, in the next few weeks, you will now start to see different road signs coming up. Because if you enter this particular zone, you have to be fully compliant. It's not just about the motorcyclists. All the vehicles, you have to be compliant. You enter this zone within the next month with one tail light crack, we'll give you a ticket. You enter it, once you put a sign or you speed in this zone, we'll give you a ticket. We'll make sure it will start from here. It's not a big area, but at least we'll start from here before we start to extend it somewhere. So this is now established as a strict enforcement zone. As soon as we start to get the road signs up with the different pieces of information, the speed limit, seatbelt signs, school zones, and everything, and then we get, and if you all can make the case for us to get that package that we so dearly need to be able to enforce.
I pay the money.
Yeah, let's see, man. What do you think? What the budget for the stand up? What a local police budget? What a local police operational budget? For your 800 in your county, what a local police budget? You talking about
in our budget.
The money the police people get in library very small, man. 3 million is nothing.
You're trying to manage
police have to get more. We have to encourage the lawmakers at least to give the guys there a yearly budget of between $25 to $50 million to cover the entire country. They are not covering the Liberia National Police, not covering Moserado alone. Maybe that's what some people think. They are covering 15 counties. And to give them $3 million, it's a shame.
It's small.
Yeah, it's extremely small.
It's small.
And then the cyclists themselves, they've been mostly cooperative. They've been going to the Ministry of Transport to do their registration. They came back, the leadership came back to me on Friday with some concerns. One of the things that they raised is that the government issuing them license that's in a category for a commercial vehicle. So immediately we pick up the phone because we have to solve problems. We pick up the phone immediately, call the Minister of Transport, raise the issue. Minister, at the back of the license, there's a category that says D, category D for motorcycles. And what you're issuing them is category B. The minister said it was just brought to his attention. So before the end of the week, the Minister of Transport and I will have an announcement of making adjustment on the price for the license, which was a concern to them, to be adjusted to issue them Class B license. And then also, before they get that license, they will have to come to the police academy. We'll do it in all the counties as well where they will apply for license, to have at least some form of training. And at the end of the training, they will get the license, because even if we just leave these people to start to enter the zone and we start putting signs, they don't know what the signs are. So we'll have to kind of teach them what signs are, just to be able to bring them in full compliance. So, I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, Room was not built in one day. There's also other programs meant to absorb some of them that will be subsequently announced by government to be able to give them alternative means of livelihood. Those who will not be able to comply, they might have other opportunities coming up very, very soon. They will, as a matter of fact, not might, they will, because these opportunities are being specifically targeted for their direct benefit for an alternative source of livelihood, just in case they cannot be fully compliant. So there's a lot of considerations going on. We realize that an unintended consequence of this particular enforcement could have been the spread of communicable diseases through the helmet issue. Immediately, Madam Jane Macaulay reached out from MPhil. We had meetings back and forth, and we agreed to be able to put our measures before we reach a point where it could become catastrophic, that is good action now start to bring about a spread of diseases. So we've come up with measures as to what you need to apply to keep yourself safe if you're wearing a helmet, and also propose the open face helmet as well as an alternative. So this is not a heartless effort. This is all meant about restoring order. And the thing about it is, even the cyclists themselves, they are admiring how beautiful and how seeing the traffic looks. I mean, with these restrictions. I mean, if the motorcycles are not, it's not a problem. I mean, but just be compliant, wear your helmet and stuff, so we can know that you're safe. The other day, in this during the night enforcement, one of the motorcyclists ran his way through the checkpoint, and as soon as he ran his way, he ended up right on a bus. When we went to go rescue him, he had a single barrel pistol on him. What does it indicate? These are the same people going around at night, late night, with these guns and stuff, armed robbing people, intimidating citizens, and stealing from them. And not all of them, but there are bad ones amongst them. So that's why we say, stay home at night. After 10, 11 o'clock, pack your bike. Don't be exposed to danger. We've had them conveying criminals from one area to another at midnight. This service is appreciated. We know there are good intentions of money, but there will always be bad people in your midst. So since the bad people choose to operate at night, the curfew is on, the enforcement will remain in place, and every last citizen, every last road user carrying this Zoom within the next month, just know that you should take your time, read the vehicle and traffic law, and find out what compliance calls for. We'll put the information out there for those who cannot access it. But this Zoom in Liberia, this Zoom here, it will be the place where every last law on the traffic code will enforce it. For some, at least somewhere it will start from somewhere in the country. We'll enforce it.
Thank you.
Can I just squeeze my last question in, please? Folks, we will be placing a call to Senator Nathaniel McGill after Jerolime Pierre, Minister of Information and Police, IG leave. We'll be placing a call to Senator McGill. RJ, what's going on with the 4-month salary arrear with your class?
But before you go there, why you want to do it after we leave? You want to yes on?
Oh, I can call you while you guys here. I care less. So, you know. Well, I want to address this issue about the folks that are complaining about the salary, the class of 46.
Okay,
what's going on?
So the class 46 is what I just mentioned to you. The money that we should be celebrating has been placed in the budget. That's what's meant to start to compensate them. They're a new class. They were not captured in last year's budget. Some allocations were made to accommodate class 45, but class 46 was never captured in the budget. So until it passes and the next pay.
So you guys didn't pay them for 4 months?
Nope.
But you had a 112 though. You had a 112. You'll get one part of the 112, yeah?
So the 112 is 112 of the last year's budget, which means because they were not captured in that last year budget, if they pay 112, it does not capture them. So we could not pay them. And police do not pay. The pay comes straight from Ministry of Finance. So as soon as the budget passes, their 4-month salary will be paid at once.
So you have people working for 4 months and you get paid under this government?
Well, Stanton, I mean, basically, I think that's what the words that we are speaking is alluding to, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you guarantee here on the national platform that they will get paid once because the budget have been passed.
Definitely. And I've been talking to them because I just didn't want to keep them in limbo. I've been engaging them. If you can reach out to some of the people who send you the information, I've been encouraging them.
I know a lot of them, and they listen to you right now. So I want you to speak directly to them, sir.
I understand the constraints that you're faced with. At last night, I think 3-4 nights ago, around about 2-something in the morning, I was here, rallied the class up, and we had a great conversation. I explained to them where we were and why they hadn't gotten their salaries, and we're making every effort with the Ministry of Finance, the CSA, to ensure that they get paid at least at the end of this pay cycle, since the budget has been passed already. But it's a very serious matter. I'm concerned about them because these are the kind of things sometimes that cause people to start to abuse the authority. So we're just encouraging them to be patient. I mean, this is the first time getting on payroll. And I'm sorry that they have to endure some of what we went through years back when we got here. It wasn't easy, so I know exactly what they're going through. I empathize with them. I hear them. And
are you saying you will pay them for the 4 months?
I'm saying the government like will pay them for the 4 months as soon as
I say you and me, it's the government. That's what I say. You are the leader. You're going to give them 4 months back salary, correct?
As soon as this month's salary is going in, we will be submitting their 4 months pay at once.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm done, Ketema. I'm done, Ketema.
IG, I got an interesting question. On the streets, what I do hear sometimes is that people complain that the requirement for insurance, most people, they said they pay their insurance when they have an accident, insurance company don't come through. And so they feel that they just enrich an insurance company and there's no way you can get their money back. There's so many cases. If you would do a focus group, for example, 9 out of 10 person will tell you they see the insurance company do not pay for cost of damages every time there's, but we require to pay for insurance. It's like we're enriching somebody or we're wetting somebody back, So basically, what are your thoughts on that?
Ketema, I lost track in between there.
Oh, you not hear me?
No.
He can hear you now, Ketema.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I'm saying there are a lot of folks that have said that when they pay for the insurance.
Okay. So the insurance company not being compliant in paying
yet they are being required to show the proof of insurance.
So all of the insurance companies that we've ever had that kind of issue with, we stop honoring their insurance and we report them to the central bank. But most of the companies are compliant. I mean, it is like sometimes you have to actually run behind them, but we've instituted new measures that they will have to make commitments to pay the premium before they can have the vehicles taken away from the impounds of the police. So there are measures put in place. One, hold their vehicle until they can pay it. Number two, report them to the central bank for not being compliant. And as it relates to the insurance, the bikers, that was one of the issues that they raised. According to them, they were paying as high as $120 for insurance. So immediately we placed the call to the CBO governor. We placed the call to the head of the Association of the Insurance Companies, and they sent us an adjusted rate. At least the motorcyclists now will be paying, the commercial motorcycle will be paying $95 for insurance. And if they go out and they're getting a different fee, I think they should come back to us, because according to what was shared, which I can make public, they should be paying around $95 for their insurance and not the $120 as they're claiming.
Okay. Center?
All right. So Honorable Gregor Coleman, we want to say thank you for stopping by tonight. We really appreciate your time. You went into all of my questions, one of which, of course, I'm going to just slide through. If you want to hang around, fine. We'll be calling Attorney Miguel S. I think I'm done with my question. I will ask you to also think, and maybe you have addressed this or you will address this in the future, the abuse of the 30 kids because the women on set say I didn't ask. Let me make it very clear that in your report from one of your department, the abuse of the 30 kids at the adoption center. If you want to just talk to us how far that kids have gone, let's give you the time to do that to be fair on the
So
show tonight.
the report has been shared with the Ministry of Justice and the Ministry of Gender, and I would just like to speak with the both ministers sometime this week before I can release any further information about it. But I think the police did a great job doing an in-depth investigation and made some recommendations about that. So I hope that those recommendations will be honored, because we will be launching a more in-depth investigation in the entire
Is the
process.
facility still open? That's the concern of many Liberians. Are you guys shut down the facility or is still operating?
I cannot answer that right now. I know during the investigation, some of the children were removed from the facility, but as to whether it's open right now, I can't answer to that. I can make some follow up and let you know. But the children were moved to a safe room. That I know for a fact when the allegations were made.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Coleman. We appreciate your time, sir. Thank you. Minister Jeremy Pierre, you want to hang with us? I think you should. We got some questions for you, but Senator McGill, he want to come in quick. We beg to bring him on because it is important. He's trying to go to bed. You are still here in the state, so it's okay. We'll finish up with you after Senator McGill. So, Ketema, we have Senator McGill on. He want to throw light on 2-3 different stuff real quick, just for 5 minutes or so. Senator McGill, welcome to 101 with the CEO. It's good to have you, sir. Ketema, what's going on with your screen, Ketema?
Yeah, I would.
Thank you, Santa.
Yeah, welcome to the show, sir. It's good to have you, Senator.
Yeah, thank you very much. You're someone that called me and someone was saying people on sanctions are doing something. I don't want to get the detail because I wasn't listening to the program. Besides, I know you we have raised few issues on the issue of borrowing, and want to provide some clarification on the issue of borrowing. The Constitution is very clear as to who's supposed to borrow and how much can somebody borrow and who's supposed to authorize borrowing. Now, what I do know with the police has a $3 million allocation to buy a vehicle. So that's not borrowing, but anything beyond $3 million, if you want extra money that is not in the budget, you need legislative approval.
So let me bring you in because we still got Minister Pierre here from information. The police IG had to leave. Ketema will be joining me later. He have a little technical problem. But let me ask you this question though. Police, Liberia National Police, borrowing $6.134 million. Liberia Petroleum Refinery Corporation, LPRC, borrowing $9.4 million from EcoBank. Are you saying that they have been misguided without legislative approval?
Of course. I'm doing a communication to the Senate on tomorrow or on Tuesday. Probably we'll get on the floor on Thursday. The Ministry of Finance will have to appear to tell the Senate where they get the authority from to authorize borrowing. Borrowing is the only authorization for borrowing. It has to be done by the legislature. If they're acting within the budget, then that's correct. But anything outside the budget, they cannot borrow. The only legislature has the authority to authorize borrowing, and so the Ministry of Finance, we are writing a letter to invite the Ministry of Finance to explain why they had to authorize the borrowing for the police, even for FPRC. They don't have the authority. The Constitution is very clear. And so we'll do the representation. I'm quite sure the Ministry of Finance will be invited to explain to us where they have the authority from Because look, the Constitution too is very clear on the issue of borrowing, and so we'll be looking at that. So even LPRC, I've spoken to the managing director of LPRC, and the need to complain. What you need to know is that Santa, if any of the institution default is the government of Liberia that bears the responsibility to pay. It happened with the HIPIC. We have to pay. The government of Liberia to assume all the liabilities of all the ministry and agencies that borrow money, and so the kid to authorize borrowing is the national legislature. Not even the Ministry of Finance can do that. They must act within budgetary allocation. So it'll be a surprise if the police have $3 million in the budget to buy vehicles and other essential material. They have the right to. Ministry of Finance can negotiate, send the budget, send maybe the money is not available. They can negotiate within the context of the $3 million. But anything beyond $3 million, you need legislative approval.
So in that regard, it's kind of. Can you help us understand? Would this go through? Because EcoBank under the past government, CDC, of which you serve as Minister of State, they started to borrow this money for LPRC. It came from Madame Uri. It was approved under Madame Uri.
Listen, Sandra, I was in the government. I don't know when I don't know when Minister of Finance authorized the borrowing. If it not, look, every institution, the Constitution is very clear about who authorized borrowing. Only the legislature can authorize borrowing. You know that. So besides the legislature, no one can authorize borrowing. It must be within. It must look. You see, when these companies default, they are public corporation. When they default, the government of Liberia assumes the responsibility. That's the reason why our debt stock has increased. And so I'm doing a communication on the floor. Because currently I'm not in Monrovia, so I don't know whether I can get on the floor on Tuesday. But if I can get on the floor on Tuesday, we'll invite these entities, especially Minister of Finance, to show why they think they have the authority to authorize borrowing without legislative approval.
Okay, we have on the phone, Ketema, we have Senator McGill from Magibi County, Senator Natona McGill. Also, we still have with us Jeremy Pierre, the Minister of Information. Senator McGill is speaking on this borrowing issue from LPRC, $9.4 million, and the Liberia National Police, $6.134 million. Ketema, do you have a question?
Anything beyond $3 million, it requires legislative approval. And we're very clear. We're very clear when the budget passed. We made it very clear. The motions are all clear. That you can't proceed to borrow money outside of budgetary allocation. It was very clear. So to do that, the police has to come to the legislature and explain to the legislature why they want to borrow extra money. And when the legislative approval can authorize that borrowing, not the Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance has no authority.
Wow. Are you with us, Ketema? I want to bring in Minister Pierre after you. Go ahead, Ketema.
Yeah, Minister Senator McGill, how are you, sir?
How are you?
Yes, I got a question for you. And my question has to do with, I think, on the rice price increment to $18.50, but the car power and water payment of $6.2 million in the 2024 budget. And you were in the room part of that discussion. What are your thoughts on $6.2 million?
There was no authorization. There's no money authorized there's no money absolutely in the budget for Compound. Compound was never negotiated, and we had no agreement for Compound. What we did was allocate the money to LEC. And LEC, look, Katama as we speak right now, LEC has so much liability. LEC owe the CLLG, they owe West African Power Pool. The Liberian government owe LEC in so many directions. We just get LEC doing that. So LEC, look, Power agreement when the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Authority plus LEC, including Monin Katan, and the chairman of the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission, Dr. Sikajubo, appeared before the Senate. They told that deal was a very bad deal. Even on President, we are administration. When we attempted to bring Power, the entire donor community, including the American Embassy, They will raise the alarm. And Car Power is saying everything Car Power, they don't want to pay duty, they don't want to pay taxes. They want you to buy the entire current. We don't have the ability to consume the current. So if Car Power give us, say, $40 million current, we have to pay, whether we consume the current or not. They have pollution issue. So money capital was very clear. Money capital, including Sigaji, was very clear. That was a very bad deal. So Car Power is not going to come to Liberia. I can guarantee you Car Power is not going to come. Because for Car Power to come, the legislature must approve that.
Yeah, it's $6.2 million taken from LEC. Basically, if that goes on,
There's no money in the budget for Car Power. Absolutely. We never put them for LEC to get money to Car Power. What we put up for LEC, government already owe LEC in so many ways. We owe LEC so many debt. We got to get LEC got to go buy a fuel and car run the generator because during the summertime, they can't run the hydro. They have to use diesel. So we owe LEC a lot of money. And I don't see how LEC can negotiate Car Power because there's no money in the budget to do that. So LEC cannot proceed to even contract Car Power because LEC, why they want to bring Car Power in the market? So Car Power is not going to work. I can guarantee you that because Car Power never approved in the budget.
So can I understand something, Senator Miguel? The funds that were allocated to LDC, that money you got, they want to move to Car Power?
I mean, what I'm hearing, but I can simply say that from a conversation with some of the officials at LEC, they're not going to go in that direction because I don't think they will approve that. Because about this Car Power, the pollution issue, you know what Car Power will do? When they come, they will sell the entire current to you. Whether you consume the current or not, you have to pay. And they don't want to pay taxes in Liberia. Everything they want it free. And nobody going to do that, Sandra. Nobody going to do that. So Car Power is not coming. Car Power is a dead proposition. We can't even pay the West African Power. We can't pay the CLSG land from Africa. We can't pay. We are in liability. Then we'll go to another Car Power to bring it. We're going to pay. The government of Liberia going to assume the liability when LEC cannot pay.
We have the government of Liberia spokesperson. Let's bring in Jeremy Pierre, Information Minister.
We owe LEC. We can't even pay LEC debt. Then we'll go to another external debt and bring on the book. The only body that has the right to approve such a liability is the legislation. So they cannot even do that because they don't have the authority to do that.
So thank you very much. Katima, you got anything to add? Miguel, let me ask you real quick because we got to finish up with you and go back to Minister Pierre. The information that Express is going to hit $18.50. Senator Miguel, where are you with this information?
Yeah, that information is correct. I've spoken to people from the Ministry of Commerce. I think they're going to make an announcement tomorrow. Ultimately, that'll be very sad to carry the rice price. According to that, the rice people don't want to carry the price of $21, and they're trying to negotiate the $18. When we took power, we had the same problem. But we negotiated to keep the rice at $13 for 5 good years. So I don't know, when they carried down to $16.75, $16.75. Now, within less than 4 months, the rice price of rice dealers are complaining that they have too much liability, they want to get the price. I think it'll be a serious burden on the people. And I think, in fact, some senators are going to write a letter now. I expect some senators to put a letter on the floor by Tuesday to try to deal with the rice situation. As you know, the rice is a political commodity. We cannot afford to carry the price of oil in just less than 4 months. We got to find a way for the rice dealer to keep the price at least at 16.7. But to carry it to $18, that's going to be a serious problem. But I'm hearing that by tomorrow they're going to make an announcement that the rice price will be around $18.50, and that's going to be a serious problem. It's going to be a burden on the people and the consumers. I don't think Liberia are ready to even $17.50, there was a problem. When we raised the $17.50, the people are issues. Imagine carrying it to $18.50, there will be potential problem. But we have to find a way. They have to find a way to make sure to keep it right, at least at 16.75. But I'm getting information that by tomorrow, they're not going to be made to get the rice price out. And I think that would be a serious problem. And I think the government has to find a way to address that.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. Go ahead.
A lot of people could say you guys created a problem and just transferred to the new administration. I mean, the George Weah government were in bed with the cartel. 1 second, the George Weah government were in bed with the cartel. They created a lot of problems. They did not address these issues. They went into big deals. And the rights issue, they just deferred the problem to another administration. So Baka walked into the door, he got problems saying now voting for him. So that's the consensus.
That is the excuse of Ketama. That's a very lazy excuse. When you went to election, you made a commitment to the electorate that you had a solution to solve the problem. When we took power in 2018, we kept red price at $13 for 5 good years. 5 years with red price at $13. We negotiated with the people. And they wanted to carry right, but we had the same problem. Get them most time we're negotiating with right dealer. I was in the port, negotiating with right dealer. And we kept the price at $13, 50 cents for 5 good years. But before we left in 2023, around 2022, 23, I was not in government again. Somehow the right dealer still put us on resistance, and the same condition they are creating today, they raised other conditions. We took the right price to 17.5, but you know the consequence of that. Liberia were angry, and we pay the price. We pay the price at the pool by carrying red price. It was not our fault, but we had to carry on. Now the government came in. They say, you know what? We want to get some space. They reduced it to 16.75 according to the Minister of Commerce. In less than 4 months, red price now going on to 18.5. There's a political commodity. It's not me. The people are going to react. The people are going to react. You know, red business in Liberia, it's my hope. It's really my hope that policy makers, the people in the legislature, will not see it as politics. They're not. Joe, we're not president again. And give the party responsibility. You have to find a way to negotiate with the people to keep the rice price at 16.5. Now you want to take it 18.5 because you want to carry all the 21. I understand they want to carry $20 or $21. And the Minister of Commerce finding a way to negotiate to keep it at 18. Now, even that, people are going to be angry. People are going to be angry. So it's not the dog. We are President Bouaké to go on the country to make policy decisions that will benefit the Liberian people, not to be blaming President Weah. Because when you went to the poll, you blame President Weah, and you said President Weah was not performing, so they should give you the mental authority so you can perform. It's time for you to perform. For us in the opposition, we'll support any policy that benefits the Liberian people. But we'll speak against policy that goes against the will of Liberian people. We'll speak against it. We're trying to help. I think they need to negotiate, and people need to have trust in the people who are negotiating. How come we get the red price $13 for 5 years, or $13.50 for 5 years? People need to have trust in the individual who are going to negotiate. They don't have trust in the system. The price will keep going on, and the people are going to get angry. So it's not about President. We are not a president again. It's President Bouaké, including the cabinet minister. They should start believing people and find solutions. We're not getting the power and believing President Sali. We're not one day going in the street and start blaming President Sali. We went and tried to solve the problem. We took initiative to solve the problem, not to start blaming what happened in the government. Be our minister in the government. That be one day we'll ever point me. They say Pierre did something in the government. We never did. We're not going around blaming people. We're trying to find solutions. And so we're able to keep the price at $13.50 for 5 good years. 5 years. In the latter stage of our administration, the red price went up to $17. But you know the consequence of that? People are angry. Even at $16, at $17.50, people are still angry. But they will always come with issues. They talk about freight that gone up, the world market gone up. We have all those same problems with freight get the red price at $13.50. So it's the responsibility on the government to do our best to make sure they keep the price stable. They got to negotiate with people in a way that people trust the people who are negotiating.
Wow. Ketema, what will be it?
We'll keep it 5.
Thank you very much, Senator. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what I'm saying, the police. I can guarantee the police and the Ministry of Finance will be appearing at the legislature because I'm doing a communication. Now, even on FPRC cannot go to all legislative approval. They are state institutions. And before they borrow money, they got to come to the legislature because at the end, when they default, the liability go on the government. The debt stock will increase. So they cannot borrow money. The federal minister has no authority to authorize borrowing outside legislative approval. The Constitution is very clear on that. And so the Ministry of Finance, we're going to write a letter to invite the Ministry of Finance and FPRC and the police, if they ever want additional resources, you need to make a representation to the legislature and say, you know what, when you say $3 million, the $3 million are not adequate. But right now, that all budget spending, they're putting expenditure on the country that is not budgeted. So I'm only aware of $3 million, not $6 million. So they have to explain that to members of the legislature to know where we're getting the extra money from. Even the legislature, our own car, vehicles belonging to the Senate, we say we'll only pay what is being approved. We're not going and borrow and put additional debt. So if they give us $2 million for the Senate, only that $2 million will be used. Nothing outside, nothing more, nothing less. And the government will go and buy the car. We just find the vendor and the government will pay for the car. We're not going to borrow money and put additional debt on the budget. I mean, you're increasing the budget after the budget is already passed.
Thank you very much, Senator McGill. You have, I want to bring in Minister Geraldine Mapierre because we have to go. It's 6:16, which of course is 10:16 in Liberia. Real quick, let's wrap up with you, Information Minister Geraldine Mapierre. You heard everything that the senator. Then the senator is still on the phone, by the way, sir. Can you unmute, please?
Okay.
Go ahead, Minister Pierre.
You want me to respond to the senator?
It's your turn.
The senator is not muted. Yeah, it's my time. I thought I have other very pressing issue. When the senator is done, when you're finished with him, he can leave. I thought I have.
Okay. So if that be the case, Senator McGill, if you have anything else to add, because we want to wrap up, Senator.
I need to listen. If the man is going to say something that I need to listen and be able to respond. I may be on the show.
Okay, so just
to the Senate,
correct. So just call. So yeah, you can just you can join anytime. Let's give the minister.
I can mute. Let me just mute and you keep it. You put it on.
Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead.
Man, don't show me time. You had.
I'm talking to Senator, not you. Not sure you trying to
okay. The senator on phone.
I don't showing you between you and Ketema today. Better tell me the meeting.
No, anyway, I will do my closing, but you know,
I want to give you a chance to address the rest issue. You met us on it, and we didn't give you a chance. So add that to your closing, please.
Yeah, listen. Tomorrow at 12 May Day at the Ministry of Information, there will be a press conference, and the person appearing will be the Minister of Commerce. I do not want to jump the guns on anything he will be doing tomorrow. So I would prefer to show respect by allowing the press conference to take place and not jumping ahead of anything. That's one. And because he's the key minister in our sector that has to do with the rest issue, I guess, if there are actions to be taken there, he will address that tomorrow. So I'd like to enjoin upon all of us to wait for him tomorrow. News in this instance will not be late. But the only thing I want to say, firstly, I don't know in what capacity my friend and brother, Senator McGill, was speaking, because, and I'm saying this tension against the backdrop that most of the times people in the legislature will feel free to speak. Sometimes when you disagree with them, they take offense. Sometimes they want to summon you for contempt. They want to do this. So is he speaking as on behalf of the Senate, or he's speaking as a politician from the CDC? Because most of our United Party should not complain. No United Party person is complaining here. Katama asking you a simple question. That there are people who will believe that you created a situation and somebody walked into it. That was not United Party saying that. And to address Katama, you jump to United Party, people must start complaining, they must do the work. Government is, as a senator, you are part of the government. You're not different. If they say the Liberian government does this, it includes you, not just Bwaka and members of the cabinet. That's one. And he's reminding us that Rest Press was kept down because he was busy. Many times he was negotiating. Yes, that's true. That's true. You are the head of every entity. You are negotiating a public work. You are negotiating on rest issue. You are negotiating on that. negotiating on everything. Everything. And he says they pay the price. I'm not sure if there was a price paid, it was paid because of just rice. If there was price paid, maybe rice contributed, because we saw pictures of people fighting to get a bag of rice to buy. Some were even willing to buy it for $50. And they couldn't see it. And I said this to Ben Stanton, what is most important when we play this rice politics is sometimes the people prefer to see the product and buy it than to have money in their pocket and wanting to buy it and they can't see it. So you didn't just pay any price for rice. The price was paid for a lot of things. There were people who believed that their families were innocently killed. There are some who believe that the country has become a drug dumping site, drugs all over the place. There are other people who believe that people were massively looting the country. And the list could go on and on and on and on. It's a conglomeration of different issues. And as to what price people paid, I've always said we fire away from politics. Our focus is on governance. Politics will come 2029. And that's the time we should bring politics and we'll talk politics. But now, what we're concerned about is to govern. And if there are others who are not interested in joining hands so that we all govern and it's all about politics, who did when we were there, they don't want people to compare, right? But in their own analysis, they say when we were there, when we were there, when we were there. Why don't you want people to compare? People got to compare when you're doing the very comparison. So tomorrow at that press briefing, we hear what the situation is. As a government, one of the things that will be key to us is to make sure that rice as a primary product for consumption is always available in the market. We need to take a couple of things into consideration. Nobody is making farm here that is capable of producing that will feed the nation. Everything we got in the country that has to do with rice comes from different countries. So the business people who are bringing in these products, they pay for the rice, they pay for this, they pay for that. You are basically doing business around. Even then, when you're doing business, you mark your expenditure versus what you get. If the business folks are concerned, we sit with them and negotiate. We'll sit with them and talk, and we'll agree to.
Would there be an increase in rice price?
I say that way for tomorrow.
Now I'm asking you. You should have the information. It's running on all the media. It's running on all the. No, Minister. You are not an empty minister. You're a very smart guy. You should have the information. We're not waiting for the more. It's on front page. It's on all the major newspaper. It's on all the major social outlet, and we are receiving information. There will be an increase. Can you confirm or deny whether there will be an increase in rice price?
So as the head of the government entity responsible for communication, I cannot invite the Minister of Commerce to come use my platform to speak to the nation and talk about the issue before he comes there. I will not do that. Clear cut. So the minister.
So are you confirming that the minister coming to announce to the nation that there will be an increase in rice price?
The minister coming to have a press conference and we'll wait to listen to what he has to say at the press conference.
Well, when it comes to you, everything you don't know or we should wait?
I didn't say I didn't know. I said I have set the platform.
Will there be an increase in rice price? The people want to know on this network. They will not be following your Mika network.
I disagree with you that the people got to go on this network. The people will know from Mika's platform.
The people don't want to know from Mika platform. You are sitting on the network. You don't sell your brand on our platform. Ketema will charge you. Would there be an increase? Because it's all over on social media. It's in the press. It's all over. Is there anything that you are communicating with Amin Moda? Amin Moda promised the Liberian people.
Amin Moda made that opinion.
Amin Moda promised the Liberian people there will not be an increase. Amin Moda said that you were able to save 25 cents. And under the Joseph Yema Boaka government, with 4 months, would there be an increase? Would the Liberian people feel the pinch? Would there be the form of rescue of increase in the Liberian staple food rice, Minister Pierre?
Turn to the Mika platform. In fact, you mobilizing for us for plenty people to follow the platform tomorrow. Turn to Mika platform tomorrow when Abim Moda.
Listen, I'm not one of those that would not watch the Mika. I watch all platforms. I'm a Liberian.
Thank you very much. You're a good man. I've always said that you are a good man, and so let's give that platform the respect it deserves by allowing Abim to communicate from there tomorrow. But let me do my closing. Having said that, Because there are a lot of issues I thought we would have touched, we didn't touch. Because no time is ever enough for the Minister of Information.
But you make a week. You can't answer our question. You just talking Tabata saying all that. You will come back tomorrow. You will revert. You will come back tomorrow. You don't know how many people the president took on the train. You cannot tell whether he robbed private jet and who gave it to him. You cannot tell us the increase in rice price. What can you tell us, Mr. Minister?
Senator, you will listen to Mika tomorrow. That will be the source of that information. Not yet. You will listen to Mika, and Mika will.
I got it, so man. You're increasing rice price. The people know that.
All right. Well, tomorrow you will know. Anything you say here is unofficial. Are you quoting newspaper? You quoting this? The only official thing will come tomorrow. That's what made that Mega platform to be so important.
No, not really though. Because I was in the meeting. I was here yesterday. Amin Moda had a meeting yesterday. He had a meeting yesterday with those folks, and I get information from there. You know, we got information sources out there. There's an increase in rice price
until we speak tomorrow at the Mika press conference. So that's why
you know, Labrador right now don't wait for your Mika press conference because they don't believe everything you're saying.
Why you say it's not official? As soon as they hear from the government, it's certain to know why.
Which one is official? Kula said the president wrote a private jet that was given by Guinea-Bissau. You say we shouldn't believe in Kula. Which one is official now? Kula is official or Minister Pia is official? Which one?
You on rest or you come out of private jet?
No, unofficial.
All right. So I will close like this. I know intentionally.
Yes, sir.
I know that intentionally. Katama chose that. Stanton and Katama chose that they will not talk about our 100 days. But I'm talking, you get somebody talking on me, Stanton?
No, I beg you, Senator. Let the minister try to wrap up. I beg you.
You can't do that.
I beg you, Senator. Let the minister wrap up. Go ahead, Minister.
This is not your show. You can ask Stanton to come on another day. They invited me as a guest. They call you to say something else. You're not a co-guest to me. Yeah, but right now he's not a co-guest to me. He tell team, I talk about let him go. Yeah, let him go. So let me end my team. Let him go.
Go ahead, Minister.
Yeah, thank you. Maggie, Honorable Senator Maggie, let me add a Senator, Honorable, everything there. You can call your man stand, they get a range show for you, but lead a show alone at my show. Let me close. Okay? You might you're not seeing me more than 5 places when you see me, you can put your face, different place, you can speak to me. I don't worry about that. We'll be fine. One day we'll talk and it will be okay. That's fine. Hello. You say what? I know, as a man, I didn't say why when you see Pierre, you can speak to me.
No, man. I think my girl do that.
Yeah, I'm saying it on open air, and I'm saying it in the corner. I'm saying it that on spoon that everybody listening to.
Okay, go ahead, my girl. Go ahead, Senator.
Next for pound. You remember still you?
I don't.
I said me, and you say John Lowe, that John Lowe will speak for me. Why John Lowe will be the one to determine whether you speak to me or not?
I can speak to John Lowe, why I can speak to you?
Well, I know, man. John Lowe not here, my girl.
Confirm you as Minister of I said we'll confirm you as Minister of Information.
The Senate confirming, including you.
Come to me, come to me, we'll try and talk. I said that we know the Bible will let you.
Okay, try to find out will be that topic.
I confirm all your major role you confirming all your ministers. All the ministers said to me, I confirm them. Why am I putting my hair over? Stop lying, man.
My man, CDC time, you used to call me 50 times a day, CDC time. I call you, you don't pick your phone, so don't say that I'm not calling you.
I don't even have your number.
The number has not changed. You got a number, the same number you used to call me on 50 times. My man, the same number you used to call me on 50 times, you said the same number, that number has not changed.
Your colleague that came to me was today in lecture.
All right, call me that lecture too. Call me that lecture. Call me that lecture too. I'm not doing that. Man, look at me face to face, 2-3 places you refuse to talk to me, my girl. I'm saying it.
They're not true.
All right, prove me wrong. Call me, let's sit down and talk. Prove me wrong.
Man, what are you talking about?
My man.
You gotta listen to someone when we're talking to help you.
No, we're dead. I was there before you. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was there before you. I was there before you.
I'm telling you, we want us to see. We'll get rent price at $13. We need to help to tell you how we did it. I'm not believing you for so many things. The reason why everything you take believe, you're trying to make it personal. If you don't want to have you, you're making personal. When you're saying somebody say go do it, we oh no, you were there before. You talking politics. That's the easy business.
All the things
When everything go wrong in the country, everybody will kill it. It's not just government business. When everything go wrong, you gotta understand.
I'm glad you know that, man, Chief. 6 years ago, you didn't know that.
No, boy, we know it better than you. They just speak politics.
No, we're waiting for 2020 now for politics. We're not on politics. The core of politics. All right, thank you, Chief. Let me close now. You finish taking your own. All right, let me close now. You just killed official. Let me close my show. Let me close my show now. Stand up. Let us go. Remember me and tell the rest of the thing. Let me go.
I need 5 minutes. You're close now.
Senator, I'll be with you later on. Yes, sir. You say don't listen to my show. Go. Why you want to listen? Go.
The message is not going. The message can hold you in contempt tomorrow on Tuesday.
Anton,
yeah.
They say don't get it right to listen to me, but when I close, the show closed. You're not coming back to respond to anything. Stand on a serious to close. Unfortunately, we didn't talk about the end of the 100-day period, which is fine. I still got time to come here so we can talk.
Next one.
Hello. Hello.
Excellent.
Yeah. So the good thing, Stanton, is this: the 100-day period is over. So it was a pace-setting period, and we've been honest with the public to say what happened. Right? We said we had 85 interventions, and we didn't come tell. 81 interventions. We didn't come anybody. We didn't come tell anybody. Oh, the 81 interventions were achieved. We said we achieved just 74% of those interventions, and we explain why we got just that. Right? But beyond those interventions, Stanton, you know that. I remember on your show when Senator Amara Kone said that was just after the election. He said the country is in a bad situation, so much so that when President Bouakai is elected, we didn't worry whether you'll be able to pay salary for the first 3 months. Stanton, I think you are aware that salary payment is current. We restore the dignity of the face of our country internationally. When we started passport issues, some people were challenging it. Once more, our passport is respected. We're on the road with justice and accountability. Since the war ended, we have a war plan, this, that, so. In less than 3 months, President Bouakai has answered that question. 3 weeks after coming to power, he declared asset. And then we have to forever declare asset. We are expanding water, we are expanding electricity, and all of that. We are making our roads possible. Right? If you match that to the 100 days of the past period, what did we see? Mansions were being built in less than 1 month. People appointed to government officials were buying properties in 1 week. Right? Drugs were being dumped into our country. One morning, people just jumping the swan, they say tomorrow this swan will tend to Bali Island. One morning, we were told that, oh, we got free 6,000 teachers. They come here. 6 years. We didn't see them. And the list can go on and on and on and on. Some people can do all the criticisms they want to do. But the evidences are clear. That our country is on the right footing to re-establishing itself. And Senator McGill, who is still on the line, my own brother, he won't leave. He's a part of it because he's a part of the government. He's a senator. He shares in the achievement. He cannot divorce himself because we're all doing these things together and the disparities are clear. Clear as snow. And we're not fall short of talking about these things every day, void of campaign and politics. Because the time for politics will come. And at the Bauer store that is created for that day, we'll all meet. And as usual, as always, we shall know who is who. But the interesting thing is that Liberian people are watching. It's not about what I say, or what Senator McGill say, or whatever anybody say. They have this freedom to compare the situations of the different eras. And at the end of the day, Our people can be assured, everybody can be assured that we will be vindicated because we've been vindicated now. We've had a progressive 100 days. The people normally say in simple thing, when your Christmas will be good, you know from the eve. We've had a great Christmas Eve. And the people anticipate a great Christmas in 6 years. I want to thank you, Stanton, for having me on. I'm always available. Call me anytime. I will be here.
I know.
I come back to the country, let me.
No, my guy is off. He's off the phone. I want to say thank you very much, Minister Piat. It's always good to have you. I think we touched a lot of stuff today, regardless of the situation we find ourselves in as a nation. Again, I stay trust and believe and stay hope in President Joseph Yema Barker that he will help deliver Liberia. But as it is, as always, you are welcome to join us, whether one-on-one with the CEO or on the Spoon Talk. We want to say you're always welcome, and I know you're not going to run away. But we have a lot of takeaway from you today, and I'm surprised, the information dissemination from the executive mansion and that of the Minister of Information. I think we should have one channel to speak through.
I 100% agree with you, Stanton, and I beg you, just for an indulgence, 1 minute, let me say something about the Ministry of Information, because I can talk all the time, and without talking about the ministry, so that people know what we face where you will not know what the situation is. Stanton, I was appointed February 27, that was after my confirmation. From February 27 to the day I traveled with the President to the United States, besides the payment of salary, that ministry has not received a dime to do anything. Nothing.
Not from the 112? They didn't give you?
Not even from the 112. If you see the transformation in our conference room, by our own innovation. All my ministers, including myself, who took over the ministry, you know how that ministry looked. We all started from the inside. I went in my office. I fixed it myself. Daniel Sando fixed his own office. Johnny Takbo, Matthew Nyeplu, all the young people who we brought on board fixed their own offices. You look at the ministry from outside, you asking yourself multiple questions whether that's a place that people are supposed to sit. And we have the determination to make it better. That is the reason why, even without any budgetary inflow, we've been doing what we want to do. The first money that ever came to the ministry was after I traveled. Some operational amount they sent at initial for the 1,000, and the acting manager just told me that they sent the other. That was the first of money ever coming to the ministry. But we still have the press conferences. We still go on the radio. We restore the ministry website that was shut down because the old administration could not pay. We restore all of the social media visibility of the entity, and we're doing everything to give it visibility. Then in the end, what
was the issue with that social media page between you and Kwame Weeks?
So when I left, John Colley intervened and said they were prepared to resolve it. I have not got an update on whether they resolved it. But what was happening, Stanton, was bad. It's gangster reasoning. Nobody can do that. I'm the Minister of Information now, so I should be the chief architect of the Facebook page, the ministry website, the ministry, everything.
Right.
And what I tell you today that I'm not in charge, I cannot say because I came over and attracted following to the page, so I negate the below acting, and therefore for me. Meanwhile, it still bears in the Ministry of Information. Anybody who does that, I don't know how to describe them, but that's the situation we had.
But are you going to allow someone to personalize the page, whether your personal email, personal password, or you change all of that?
We cannot. Therefore, what I did, because we're not running a gangster paradise, what I did was that to officially complain to the Ministry of Justice. Of course, I'm not happy that it's been weeks and weeks and weeks and the Ministry of Justice has not been able to resolve that issue. That John Colley, a private citizen, is not intervening to see how he resolves it. Because if we don't adhere to the rule of law, Stanton, then where are we? Now, the point I was trying to make before we close is that, so even after we pass through all of these things, we passed the national budget. This budget did not come from us. What happened was that the Ministry of Finance did not have the chance to consult with everybody, so a budget was submitted based on the past. So it was not based on what we want to do or what we have to do as a ministry. As a result of that, we have a projection of 2.8 million. Of the 2.8 million, Stanton, 2.1 million is on salaries alone. So what is left with the ministry to run in everything, cultural department, tourism department, information, everything, 700,000. You must say no, 700,000 can't even run one of those bureaus. than the entire ministry. We dialogue to see what or something could happen before the budget passed, because that amount I just told you about came from the national legislature, it came from the executive when they submitted it. The legislature acted, they tried to do something. They put in 400,000 different, and they said it's for media work and tourism development. Come on, tourism is a pillow on arrest. If tourism and media security come together and they have 400,000 extra, where are you going with that? But guess what? Of that 400,000 we're talking about, we have to be made to process 100,000 of that for the surfing competition. So meaning
how much are you giving them? How much are you spending on the surfing? 100,000?
100,000 that is coming from that 400,000 that was added to that.
The program is this week, so that fund will be available this week, correct?
Well, it has to be available because my acting minister met with the president today. They resolve it, and that money should be available, right? Okay. So if you take that away and you take the other 300,000 that remains, already dedicated to something else, the ministry has 700,000. Nobody sees that. Sometimes, what are minister doing? Minister doing that. Minister not doing this.
The proceeds. Let me hold you, Minister. I mean, Ketema had to run because he got an emergency. So I will hold you here. If you can. Yeah. I mean, we in the state. Let me hold you. I want to hear more about this. The proceeds from the surfing company now, will they be giving you guys? Will the ministry receive anything from that end, or is it just for them?
Absolutely nothing. And I want to go a little bit step further because we're doing it for the country. The first thing when the surfing competition was being organized, the government did not even have a budget. So when we engage the actors, we said, we don't have money. They say, yes, but there's one thing you can do that is more than money. And we said, what is that? So we just need a letter of approbation that this is a program supported by the government. And we use that approbation to raise the resources to have the competition. And we did. A letter was written, signed by 3 senior officials of government, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Youth and Sports, and myself. Right? We gave that. I don't know what has happened to it because the last time I think one of the individuals spoke to me was that so far from the process they raised 15,000. That was the last time I got an update on it. So the intent for us is not whether we get proceeds, whether we don't get proceeds. It brings image to the country, international
money though. They are raising money, right?
Of course, these competitions will raise money, but I was just making this story to know that. So in the end, just get a picture of that which we run away as a budget for our ministry. You run a media entity. You know you're not going to do anything for us free. If we call Spoon and say can't carry the program live, or want special coverage on your show, we're going to pay for it. And you know what? Even 30 minutes, 1 hour or 2 hours is on your platform. Match it against all the media institutions. The very press conference we have every time.
They don't pay us. Mika don't pay us.
Associated costs.
But Mika don't pay us though.
We don't have it. We're supposed to pay you, but because we don't have it.
We got your bill. Your bill will sue you.
You know how many conversations your CEO and I have had about that? So that challenge is there, Stanton. That's just the point I'm trying to make.
But I want to say thanks a lot because to tell you the truth, let me say this: 100,000 given to Dr. Kula. Thanks a lot. They were looking for 148,000. We raised some money here on Spoon. I don't know whether you follow. Yeah, I don't know the total amount, but I think it was good. Thank God for this government to allocate funds through your ministry to bring about 100,000. That's great. That's a good news. That's a real good news. Seriously.
So there was a big argument about that, but the president, the pro tem, all the people, they are my people. We respect each of them. If you check my budget line, you'll not specifically see 100,000 for surfing competition. And that was my argument. But in the end, we all agreed that it was the best thing to do. So we'll take it from there. Even though the ministry doesn't have money to even run, we'll take it from there. The acting minister met the president today. I have spoken to the pro tem earlier. So just by consensus, I would say, okay, the ministry will not run fund. They gave the money. So the agreement was made. The money will be processed. They will have it. The surfing competition will take over. The government will take some pride in it. That's all good. But the only reason why I was explaining to you, so you know where the ministry stands. Even as terrible as that building is, Stanton, there is 0 cent to do any repair work on that building. The roof that you see there is excessively leaking as we speak because there's a rainy season. And I'm finding all innovative ways to solve it. But the reason why I'm saying this is that we've got to change the approach towards communication.
Why the information ministry can go out to look for their own money, Jeremy? There's a lot of sources out here that you can tap into, right? You been, I don't know, maybe my business mindset is different, but you've been in, you're here in America, you live here. You know, when you talk about the information ministry, don't you think that you can bring in money?
So we've done a lot. We've done a lot, and I don't want to explain all. We've done a lot, and that's the reason why sometimes you see us doing things, even though I just explained to you that we don't have money, right? We have taken some steps, and some good people are standing up, and they are prepared to help us to roof the building. First and foremost, to just stop the destruction that is going on as a result of the leakage, right? But we got to also show people, stand up when I come into you and telling you, say, give me $100 for to solve a problem. I got to convince you that I myself putting in $20 to solve that problem. I don't put my liabilities on you. So we got to be seen doing something to change the outlook of that ministry in addition to wanting other people to help. And that's the point I'm making. And no matter how difficult it is, we have to begin to think about that. Even the president, when he saw the players, he told me, say, but I didn't even know Ministry of Information was still using the building because they play band for nothing who that where EFBC used to be. He remembers all of that. So he admitted that, yeah, this must actually be a very old building that needs total refurbishment. And credit to his name, he asked me, say, find somebody to do an assessment and send the assessment report to me, which I did. And he said, okay, government doesn't have money. I will share it with some good friends to see whether they can intervene to save the day. So a lot has been done. I'm just saying, outside of those interventions that we're trying to make, the real work we have to do. The Tourism Bureau, I gave you an example. They're supposed to be supervising and monitoring all the hospitality institutions in the country. Hotels everywhere in the 15 counties, they get one motorbike. Now to talk about pickup. How do they go in the field to do monitoring, to supervise, anything? Of course, the budget does not answer the question. We can't even buy one motorbike for them because nothing like that is reflected in the budget. But meanwhile, if they were doing that, Tenton, they can raise about 1.5 million per annum. That's money for the government. They don't have they don't have the capacity to do it because not even Basak or chief to monitor in Monrovia if we talk about outside of Monrovia. So I'm just saying all of this to say our approach to communication got to be a little bit different because communication is also security. And until we treat it like that and invest in it the way we're supposed to invest, we'll have the challenges that we have. And in the end, people will not look at all the details. They will just blame the people at the ministry to say whether they're working or they're not working. In that sense, it becomes so unfair to us. And that's why I just thought to tell this story. And thank you for giving me the time.
I mean, so seriously, I can hear this all day, but I really appreciate the fact that you guys are one of the ministry that suffer in the government, whether the UP, the George Weah, is the information ministry. I don't know why. That information ministry always down. Like they are beggars in the government. I think that's the only entity that beg, right? Only ministry that beg the information. How do you intend to change that though? That you will not depend on the government budget to survive?
Yeah, so one of the things I say at the confirmation, which I still stand back, is that we're trying to create a program implementation unit. But the first step toward creating program implementation unit, you got to have a national strategic plan. When I met with the U.S. ambassador, they have free technical expertise that they can go into ministry to help them do that. So the understanding is there. They're going to bring in some people that will help us to work with all free of charge, no cost to the ministry, and they will help to develop the strategic plan. After the strategic plan is developed, you sell the plan as a way of having support for establishing the program implementation unit. That program implementation unit, you will bring in professionals who are not political actors, but their professionalism and their independent stand will make donors to feel comfortable to put in their money for specific programs. So we're already running with that and we get there. But at the same time, it goes without saying that the government has to stand up and support information. They got to support communication. Because when communication goes wrong, sometimes you are here. When you brought spoon and other people to help to do what we all refer to as rescue. What do you think was a major weapon that led to the success of that mission? Communication. We just overshadow our opponent with our effective communication arrangement. So we can't come to government now and we back down on that because they will come back to buy us soon if we don't get it right. We got to support communication. You talk to anybody from the CDC in the corner, they will tell you, say, our trouble came from effective communication. Our trouble came from effective communication. The UP guys overwhelmed us. They were effective, they were doing that. If we did it away from government, we should do it in government because information to the population is a right, not a privilege. We owe it to them. They must be informed about their country and the workings of their government.
Are you communicating well now? Are you think with 4 months into this government, are you communicating well?
I think so, but I think we can do better, Stanton. You see, anybody who feels satisfied with any level they're on is not prepared to be an agent of change. I think we're doing great if you want to compare with what we saw in the past. And I was acting Minister of Information before, not President Selly. He's been press secretary. And if I put all the lenses together and match the two periods, I think we're doing well, but we're not doing quite enough because it requires a lot of resources to do as much as we should away from where we are. We are not getting those resources. No matter what kind of innovation we have, no matter how much we think, no matter how qualified we think we have, no matter what effective I think I am as an individual along with the whole team, minus support. And I mean support in a holistic form, financial, logistical, and everything. I mean, how can my tourism people be saying that they're able to raise 1.5 million for government and they can't even have a monitoring of the institution that's going to pay these fees to them because they got one motorbike? So if you spend, for example, 200,000 to buy cars for them to do and they raise 1.5 million, Stanton, is that not progress? That's what we're talking about.
I mean, your communication team is hard to break through. And the private institution will run with their own story because people out there that give us information. For example, you were called on the show today. I mean, directly or indirectly, not to put you on the spot. Mandela Cooper said one thing. Kula Fofana said another thing. You are the spokesperson for this government. And you said another thing. So now that is trending on social media that we got 3 versions of the president private jet. That's communication issue. Communication issue. Let me finish that, sir. Let me finish that. When you and myself now, let you draw ourselves small. Anybody tired and we go. Communication issue also. The president came on a trip. The first paper said 26. The second document said 9. But the president had over 50 people here on this trip.
That's not true.
Couldn't give us a, no, seriously. And you couldn't give us the exact number. That's
true.
Communication issue. Communication issue. How much the president spent on this trip? You can tell us. That's communication issue. So just to satisfy the argument, are you still okay that your government is communicating well with the Liberian people?
Well, you see, the issues of political nature that you got interest in is different from how you define communication.
Like that issue.
Yeah, what the people need, the people need to know what the government is doing. It includes what you just mentioned. But at the same time, nobody shy away from you with that. For example, I can't pretend to be the Minister of Finance to tell you, say, okay, this trade I was made with. So you as a media man, you know how to get information with ease. But for the purpose of the politics, you say, okay, let me put it this way. All the questions you ask Gregory Comer and the Minister of Information, I don't know, why you ask me and why you brought Gregory? Because you know Gregory leads the sector. And he will answer your question according to the details of what you anticipate. But if we fit into the definition, why you saying because of the information minister, you should know, or you should not call nobody else to talk to them. Don't call asset recovery team. Just talk to the information minister. Don't call police.
I didn't call asset recovery. That you bring that conversation on. What's going on with asset recovery? Did they recover? You brought it up. What's going on? All the people are resigning from asset recovery. What's going on? That will be our last conversation. What's going on with asset recovery?
I only know about one resignation and that gone quick. So when you say all the people resigning, I don't know what you're talking about.
We shared a document that Martin Cordy threatened to resign. Ellis Coffey threatened to resign. You were in Dallas. You met Ellis Coffey. You were there in Dallas. He went there. He met the president. You met him. You spoke to him. You cannot. Let me finish now. Let me finish. Because I was in Dallas too. You cannot deny that you didn't meet him. You met him, and he spoke to the president, and he's eagerly he wanted to resign because there's no discipline. So what's going on as a recovery?
The answer I was getting ready to give you. I met Ellis Coffey, true. He met the president, true. But no such conversation as wanting to resign.
How you think I know, Jeremy May? And you tell me, say, I don't know. I know who all went to Dallas, so don't question.
You're running media institution, so I will question you how you manage to know. You're running media institution.
So let's talk on the issue now. What's going on with asset recovery?
So the team is still doing its work, right? The team is still doing its work. There are different concerns, like you said. There's a communication from Martin, who is a part of the team that appeared on social media. There is the public resignation of Emmanuel Gonkwe. But those situations have not led to the entity now functioning. The concerns raised by Martin, because they were meant for the authority, they've been looked at. You know, it's just the best thing to do. When somebody on a team got concerns, you look at it, and all will be done to get to the root of the issue that he's raising. If something will have to change as a result of all of these concerns, you will know. For now, the team is going. You know, most of the asset recovery team, it's not about all this media engagement that people, you know, concerned about, because most of their work behind the scene, investigative, intelligence gathering, and all these kinds of things are what they're supposed to do, so that to the extent that anytime you're coming out to the public, you got something substantive to say. But it is so that we don't hear them talking every day on the different media outlets. We say, oh, I think nothing happening to that to you. But their work was supposed to be investigative. And when you do investigative work, it's in the background, Stanton. So to answer your question, a lot is happening.
The Colonial office, the operating from Councilor Martin office, the $311,000. One person said they get it, another person said they didn't get it. Minister Jeremy Matthew Pierre, JMP.
I will correct that. You will not leave it there, because that's part of the problem. I heard, for example, one time on Spoon Talk through St. Jackson, that the government was spending $22 million to just fix Dusty Road. It was a use of taxpayer money, which of course ended up not to be true, because the $22 million you were making reference to, as has been announced by the government, is what they intend to invest in road work for the entire fiscal year.
But Pierre, don't get me started about the show finish. But Jeremy, the show finish. Now you're trying to explore your great. You trying to explore your great presentation.
You give misinformation. We'll correct it.
I will not allow you to correct this, because this is not Spoon Talk, and Uncle Sam Jackson is not yet. If you want to talk to Uncle Sam, you call Sam Jackson. You call Sam Jackson. You said Sam Jackson.
I can call it Nia.
But you did. You forgot how quick. You call his name.
I used to do that.
No, you said Sam Jackson. You said Sam Jackson. You did. Maybe it's slip. But my thing is that, no, I can't. I will invite you on Spoon Talk. We'll have that conversation. The prophet said on Sunday he will not do politics, so I respect him. Minister P, I want to say thank you. But one thing you make me a political message on Sunday. He's attacking you in our chat room, just to let you know. He's watching you. I want to say to you, I really appreciate the fact that you guys were able to contribute 100,000 United States dollars to Dr. Kula and her team, the Kia Rakes, and the rest of the team, because they really need that money to make Liberia shine. And I said, thank you for your intervention. We must say
out today with the president, with the pro team, with everybody, and they will get that money.
Yeah, I must give you a hand clap for that. That's a good thing. And also thank you for joining Spoon One-on-One with the CEO. We appreciate your time tonight. Thanks to Gregory Coleman as well, to Nathaniel McGill. It was a good show, folks. Share the show. If you have your question, I'm going to sit back to take your question. We'll excuse Minister Pierre now. He got to go back and talk to the rest of them to gather the actual information about how much was spent to bring the president and the team to America. We need that information from him.
I'll see you, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks. All right, Nelson, come on the show, Nelson. We're going to take some calls. All right, yeah, we're going to take some calls. We have to hear from you. We spoke to Gregory Coleman. We spoke to Jeremy Pierre. We spoke to Senator McGill. We want to hear you. You listen, you follow us. We'll take 10 calls. 5 from Liberia, 5 from the United States. We want to hear you. Talk to us. I mean, your take, either or. A beautiful program today. I really enjoyed it. Look at Nelson Cola said I should go out tired. Nelson, I'm really tired though. You really want us to take calls? Well, I'm going to just let you. We'll do it next week Sunday, right?
Yeah, we can do it next week Sunday.
Guys, 11 o'clock, man. I'm tired. Thank you for saving me. I know that you feel for me. You care for me. Thank you very much, Nelson. I appreciate you on that. But I want to say to everyone, follow us today. We say thank you. A great show. Thanks to Jeremy Pierre. I really like the guy. He's a good guy. I like Gregory Coleman. Young people trying to work and they're doing the best. Look at the information ministry, a disaster center. But they try, he and a minister, what's his name? Daniel Sando, and
Yeah.
the rest of the team try to change that place. Look at Gregor Coleman. He's still trying. He's trying his best. He presented well. And I appreciate the fact that he said they will give the 4 months back pay. That's a good thing to those guys of the class of 46. That's a good thing. A lot of stuff coming up. We got to keep our nation informed. And I also want to say, don't forget, the press conference by MICAT, Amin Modal will be there. He will be speaking on the increase, the reason why they are increasing the prices of rice. So you guys have to go out tomorrow, Nelson. You got to go ask the market women. You go out and ask them what it make of this increase in rice prices. It's not only rice. It will affect every area bread and butter issue. It's not only rice, Nelson. So I know you're going to go to the gas station, you'll go to Rela Market, Hadji will go to Douala Market, somebody will be in Waterside, Ominga, Gobatrop, and we got to ask the people, we got to speak to those rice importers, why the rice price is going up. Why? We got some document that we'll be sharing with our folks tomorrow, likewise. Why the rice price is going up? What's going on? 4 months into the government, rice price will probably be $21. Between $18 to $21. Nelson, I don't know how many bag of rice you can eat though. How long your bag of rice can last? Because that you and your 2 children and your girlfriend, right? I mean, what are you laughing for, about? Just tell me the truth now. How many kids you got? 2 or 1?
I got 2 boys, but
the beginning can eat right?
The beginning can eat.
Yeah. And you guys are 4 or like 2 boys from 2 baby man?
Oh, no.
So I want to get to the numbers. So you guys are 4, right? How long 25 kg can last? You got to begin again what?
Well, I don't really keep track of it like that because, but
you can keep track because at least God is providing for you. So imagine though, you can buy it, but somebody that can have to hustle because next thing you know, you go take pay, and when you take pay, you buy a 1 or 2 bag of rice, right? I'm not trying to get into your family business. So you get something coming in, you buy your rice first, and the rest you can eat dry rice, you can buy your soup, that one will come later. And all your little hustle on your talk show, the little thing I can drop in, the little hustle you can say from me that you refuse to give back to me, all I want out of. We know all my little change that I can see. But to tell you the truth, Nelson, somebody don't have it, correct? Somebody got to go hustle. So if a bag of rice at $21, that's a problem. But we gotta listen to Amin Modal tomorrow. We're gonna question Amin Modal because he promised the Liberian people there will be no rice increase in prices. He said he will fight for the Liberian people. So if Amin Modal go on MICA tomorrow and talk about this rice increase, the Liberian people want to hear more. And it's a serious business. 4 months into the government. Will the Commerce Minister announce the increase in rice price? Don't give me your story. Don't give me your reason. 4 months. 4 months, Liberian, into the government. Will the Commerce Minister announce that there will be an increase in the rice prices? Imagine President Barker hearing that. Imagine. Poor Oma and Opa on the street, the people that went hustle and can't get nothing. A Commerce Minister, 2024, May 20th, 2024, announcing to Liberians home and abroad that there will be an increase in rice prices. Imagine, under a unity party rescue government, people say, but it's not really Liberia. But you didn't say it 6 months ago, though. We were saying that we could solve it. And that's when we came to rescue. So we'll wait. We're where? The Ukraine war into its second year. We're where? We'll put it on Ukraine, we'll put it on India, we'll put it on global market. I mean, would that be the story? So we listen, I know the story. The bottom line is that they have increased rice prices. They were announced it officially tomorrow. A lot of people are shocked, Nelson. Because we thought rescue are going to fight. Keep it as it is or reduce it. On no condition. And after that, the next thing that will increase will be fuel prices, though. Because they will say it's the global market. The next thing that will increase will be cement, will be sugar. Everything will be going up because it's the global market. So, folks, let's think Liberia. Let's love Liberia, and together let's build Liberia. Whether increase or decrease, we're there. Really sad. So I begin Nelson Colette.
Yes, sir.
I will see you again, though. Don't play that thing with me, or you say you get two pigeons and are eating all your rice. But don't forget the meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, sure. I saw that.
All right, Nelson. May God bless you. I said thank you very much. Go and rest. And my greetings to your family, to all my fellow Liberians who are abroad. Those listen to us, we want to say thanks to Minister Jeremy Pierre, thanks to Police IG Gregory Coleman, thanks to Senator Nathaniel Fallow McGill, thanks to the co-host Ketema, Abdullah Ketema. We greet every one of you and we say, may the peace of our Lord be with you all. Amen. What's going on with the God Can Bless Anybody, Nelson? I thought you should be doing it from 12 to 2 your time, or from 4 to 6 your time. But whatever it is, you guys got to figure it out.
Yeah, hopefully next week.
Next week, by God's grace.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and God bless every one of you. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Well, folks, that's how I would like to join on the curtains on the program tonight. Many thanks to all of you across the world for joining us here tonight. Our folks in Liberia across the different radio frequencies, Fabric 101.1, Super 95.5, and Spoon 107.5. Thanks to the folks across the world who have been joining us via the internet as well on Facebook, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. Thanks to the folks on YouTube, Spoon Talk Live. We appreciate all of you for always being here with us on Spoon. And the one-on-one with the CEO has been another fascinating conversation tonight. A lot to take away, with the appearance of the police IG, and of course the information minister, Mr. Jeremy Pierre. Yes, so you can join us tomorrow for a fresh edition of your favorite program, Spoon Talk. Spoon Talk will be on the radio tomorrow. So you can make up time to join us 8 p.m. Liberian time. 3:30 Eastern time. You can join us. And yes, it's going to be a fascinating edition of the show. Rudolph Bala, happy birthday to you. You're celebrating your birthday today. I wish you all the best. Rudolph Bala of the Late Night Show, happy birthday to you, brother. I'm wishing you all the best. And all of you celebrating birthdays today, happy birthday to you. If you're just coming to Liberia, welcome. If you live in Liberia today, wish you a good stay out there. And yes, to all of you across the world, thanks for always joining us here on Spoon. If you're not following our social media handles, kindly try to follow. And on YouTube, subscribe. Sometimes just share the program once the program comes on. If you're on YouTube, just give the program a thumbs up. It helps the program to reach a lot of people out there. Give it a thumbs up. Share it if you can. And on Facebook, share it in as many groups as you can, So let's always have a great show. So Spoon Talk will be back on the radio tomorrow. 101 is ending today. Next Sunday, will be another edition of 101. The Late Night Show will return tomorrow as well. So it's going to be a full blast across the Spoon network. You can make up time to join us. Until then, have a good night. My name is Nelson Colette. Bye-bye for now.